Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal
Here we
housing
go.
opportunity.
Did you know that Gates Toyota has over 100 certified pre-owned at one Southside location? Just over the hill from high prices at Gates Toyota. Not just the prettiest dealership in Mishawaka, also the prettiest cars.
Gates knows. Now you know.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Regional Radio Sports Network. We're broadcasting live and in living color from Bethel College in Mishawaka, Indiana. Glad you can join us. We're standing on Mike Lightfoot Court for college basketball. The Goshen College Maple Leafs coming into today's ballgame under the direction of longtime coach Stephanie Miller in a bit of a slump, 18 straight losses. But she's seen this movie before, and we'll talk about it with Stephanie a little bit later on here in the pregame show. Alongside my sidekick, Mark Gardner. Glad you can join us here. Bethel College Lady Pilots also in the midst of a big slump. 9 straight losses for the Bethel College Lady Pilots. Coach, last time the Pilots have won was over a month ago. They've been outscored by 189 points. That is an average of 21 points per game in their last 9. Both these teams have struggled, but they are so young. Loaded with freshmen and playing prominent role, getting lots of minutes. We expected this from both teams, to be quite frank with you, because they lost some solid seniors from a year ago and then some. But anyways, Crossroads League doesn't take any prisoners, and nobody could care less if you've won 20 in a row or you've lost 20 in a row. You better bring it your A game each and every time you put your sneakers on, right?
These teams are combined 1-23 in conference play, with Bethel's only win being over Goshen. And if you remember that game,
it's a one-point game.
Well, but Goshen got out to like a 23-6 lead, and then Bethel came back and had a huge run, and it ended up being a very close game. But it was one of those where we thought, Bethel was going to get run out of the gym early. These teams are very similar. They're young. I'd say for both teams, their record is terrible. Their effort has been good all year. They just struggle putting the ball in the basket. They struggle getting stops when they need to. But hard-working young ladies that have a bright future, they're just somebody's going to get a win tonight. That's the good news.
Yeah, and the numbers don't lie. The Goshen College comes in shooting 62% from the charity stripe, 33% from the field, beyond the arc 27%. Now, those numbers for Bethel, a little bit better at the free throw line at 71%. That's not too shabby. I think he'll take that. But they're shooting only 32% from beyond the arc and 38% from the field. So you look at those two dynamics, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't put the ball in the basket, it sets up all kinds of negative situation on the rest of your game.
Yeah, and for Goshen, at least they're outscoring their opponents. Bethel's given up 10 points more a game. You said they've gotten outscored by a bunch of points. These teams are both close to 20 turnovers a game. And if I've been checking the Bethel box scores, over the last 7 games, and it's that turnover margin. They're getting out-rebounded, and they're turning the ball over. And if you're not shooting well, you certainly can't do those two things. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Well, that's what's on tap here tonight here from Mike Lightfoot Court. We're going to let both of our coaches talk about it tonight and set you up through all those kind of things, because let's face it, they've had to live and die, if you will, with the 3, as well as live and die with the success or the lack thereof of the respective basketball teams. One new thing for Bethel Lady Pilots, Chris Hess is back on the coaching staff. That is big. Chris brings a wealth of experience and success to the program. He helped Mike Lightfoot win a couple of those red banners over my left shoulder on the men's side, and was the sidekick of Jody Martinez, who's now the head coach at Taylor University. You put him into Eric Gingrich's young staff, I think that's going to be nothing but positives as the season finishes itself out. We'll be back with more of college basketball. Bethel Goshen tonight, game 1 of our Twin Bill coming your way right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines, a tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports to college basketball. The Goshen College Maple Leafs taking on the Bethel College Lady Pilots here in our first game of our twin bill. Joining us now here is Stephanie Miller, the head coach of the Goshen College Maple Leafs. Steph, I tell you what, and we were talking prior to our interview that this is kind of like deja vu all over again with this group compared to your group. Then 13 and 14, they were competitive, they were in every game, and yet but you couldn't find a way to win. So I know you've seen this picture before. If you know what you know now is happening in 3 more years, I think you're good for that, right?
To be honest with you, I can't. It's hard to explain how emotionally healthy we actually are. Like I'm shocked actually. I think when you get in the situation, you would think there's a lot of like locker room issues or things like that. We don't really have anything like that. The kids are just kind of plugging away. I actually feel like if it's possible to have some momentum without winning, we've had some lately. We played pretty well against Marion and Iwu, and Grace on the road. We just couldn't score, which has been our our big Achilles heel, but. I do know what's going on. I've been here before. It's always hard to go back and be in that situation. The kids are handling themselves, though, very professionally, very respectfully, and I feel like they actually are competing probably harder day in and day out than even that 13-14 group was, and I think it helps them to have some perspective from the alumni who've reached out to communicate with them as well, and that's been a big help for us.
Well, the question that automatically comes to mind is, how are you dealing with it? Because coaches have that competitive nature where you want to be perfect every game, you want to win every game. I mean, let's face it, no one goes into this business saying, hey, I want to go over 90, because that kind of stuff just doesn't happen. But how are you hanging in there?
Great. Actually, I've had a couple days, where I've had my own private moments, but for the most part, I think the best way to put it is this. When you kind of know it's coming. When I had first created that group, there was 2 groups that were so back-to-back, and they played the whole, they sucked up all the minutes. So it was almost like you could really see it coming. You just didn't know, whether, how fast it would take for us to be able to get it together. So I'm not surprised that we're going through some of the things that we're going through. It's just harder when you're in it, obviously, even though when you predict and you kind of know, just from a competitive standpoint. But I think, I have a pretty good handle in my mind on, why the mass exodus and how to sort of fix that a little bit for next time around. I had my featured class first with my support group second, and I kind of have it the other way around now. I have my support group first and my featured class coming next. So I think that'll help us with longevity. And, first time around, I wasn't thinking long term. I was just trying to figure out how to win. So now it's more or less, okay, how can we redo it? But this time, make sure the longevity is there instead of the drop off.
All right, let's turn your attention to Bethel here today. They bested you by 1 big point the last time around. What concerns you about Eric's group? A lot of the same issues you're running into, he's running into too. So it's kind of 2 parallel teams, really.
True. I mean, with all due respect to Bethel, my bigger concern is us, handling ourselves. So with all due respect, it's not, we know that they want to attack. We know that they're working more with emotion now and spreading it out, cutting off each other. They've had some success with that at moments, and then still working through their own problems with it at moments as well. Just it kind of depends on who they're playing and how they're shooting. So, obviously I'm not, I know what we're looking at, and I know what they're capable of. I know they can get hot from outside. I know they do a nice job getting to the line. We're concerned about making sure they don't dig out too much of our paint, create too much of a sink so that those shots are inside-out type of shots. I'd rather have them passing around the perimeter than, digging us up and getting those kickback shots. They're a little bit stronger in that area with Brickner and Bruce and those kids. And Glenn, in her own right, is an improved three-point shooter as well this year. So we're just going to try to sit in and make sure that they're not able to get around our shoulder too much and really work from the defensive end forward. But, that's more coaching stuff between you and I. I have more concerns about just making sure my players are doing a better job executing, sharper with the ball, stronger with the ball. Because a lot of what Eric and I are both going through is more so we have to do a better job at what we are doing to win these games, more even than handling the other teams that,
Best of luck. And as always, great to see you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more College Buckets right after this on Regional Radio Sports. Once again, thanks for joining us here on Regional Radio Sports. The Goshen College Maple Leafs under the direction of Stephanie Miller in her 7th season. A year ago, 13-18. They were 8-6 a year ago at home, 4-12 away from the confines of the Roman Gingrich Athletic Center. They were 1-0 in the neutral court. Of course, they finished out their season with an 82-54 loss to Marion, the eventual national champions in the quarters of the conference championship. And of course, they come into the ballgame averaging 67 points, giving up 53. They're being out-rebounded by their opponents, 40-35. They're averaging 17.5 turnovers per contest. They're shooting 62% from the field, 33% from two-point range, and 27% from beyond the arc. 9.5 assists, 7 steals, and 3 block shots per contest. Once again, Stephanie Miller, our very special guest here on the pregame show. Earlier today, I spent some time with Eric Gingrich, and we'll file that report right after this short timeout on Regional Radio Sports.
But top-selling models at Gates of Granger, Michiana's newest, hottest pre-owned sales lot. If you can't tell the difference, why pay the difference? Only you and I know it's used, and I won't tell.
Gates knows. Now you know.
It's pouring rain. It's real dark outside. Your heart starts beating really, really fast. You've never done anything so hard in your life. This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. It's such extreme pain, you don't understand how you can finish. I began to feel that there was no way I was ever going to have my title, U.S. Marine. It takes special inner strength, courage, and desire to do this. I was just thinking, I'm so close. I'm so close. And when I finished, I was like, I'm done. I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me straight in front of me, put her arm on my shoulder and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES. The few, the proud, the Marines.
College basketball today, the Bethel College Lady Pilots in action against the Goshen College Maple Leafs. Joining us here on the pregame show in game number 1 of our twin bill is Eric Gingrich, the coach of the Lady Pilots. Eric, first of all, I know that caught you coming off the court against Indiana Wesleyan, and I tell you what, they're a pretty good basketball team. Make no mistake about it, and they make a lot of people look bad. But where are you at right now, man?
Well, we turned a fresh slate on Monday. We just said, listen, let's finish out the season having some fun, and let's see what we can do. We got 6 games left, and we're not out of the conference tournament. We win tonight. We pick up another win along the way, and we're back in the tournament. So the crazy thing is, as frustrating as the stretch has been, we're not out of it. So, and that there's some hope there, and so I think the girls sense that. There's some increased energy this week. They've been upbeat, and so I've been encouraged by that.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Leafs today. You guys were able to pull off a 1-point win last time around against them over at the Roman Gingrich Center. Give us your thoughts on concern about Steph's kid. They're battling just like your team is battling each and every day in practice, each and every day in the games that they're playing. So she understands the same situation that you are. Just talk about your concern with the Leafs.
Well, Steph gets her kids to play so hard. They always crash offensive boards. They're pushing the ball hard. They play so physical. And so if we're not strong with the ball, if we don't hunker down, box out, and be really intentional about those things, they make it a long night for you, which is why they stay in ball games, because they just out-grit people. So that's the biggest concern. Can we set the intensity from the tip, or do we let them kind of hit us with the first punch? Because that's really important, and I think our kids recognize that, and so hopefully we come out swinging.
Do you get into this situation where you go back and look at that Huntington game, and you look at the first 3 quarters of how hard you competed, and you look at those type of things as benchmarks and say, listen, this is what we can be if we do the things that we're capable of?
Well, absolutely, yeah. I mean, our kids know that. We watched film from that game. There were a lot of really good things that happened in that game for us that we did well. Yeah, we had another scoring drought in the 4th of that game. But there are a lot of things to grab a hold of and say, hey, we're getting there. And so hopefully our kids have seen that. And like I said, we went back and watched some of those really good games, tried to pick up some confidence and build some confidence in kids. And And I think that they're there tonight. I really do. I think that they're shooting it confidently again after Saturday. And like I said, we had upbeat practices, up tempo, and I think they responded really well. So we'll see what happens tonight.
All right, final question. What do you have to do to win a game?
Well, I think I mentioned it. Match the intensity, match the physicality of Goshen. I think don't let them score in transition. They're really trying to push the ball right now to create some offense for themselves. And so we've got to make sure we don't let them get up the court. We make them play in the half court. And then we just, like always, we got to execute our stuff. We do put the ball in the hole. We're going to be just fine.
Best of luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Eric Gingrich joining us. We'll be back with more Lady Pilots basketball right after this on Regional Radio Sports. Hi, this is Paul Condry of the Regional Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and the proud father of a United States Marine? Let me share with you something very close to my heart. It's called the Semper Fi Fund, and its program America's Fund, which provides immediate lifetime support for post-9/11 wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families to ease recovery and transition back home to their communities. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. The basic idea that drives these efforts is simple. For as much as our heroes have sacrificed, they deserve the best care and support available in their hour of need, whenever it may occur. The Semper Fi Fund, a 4-star charity and an A+ rating, has served over 16,000 members since 2004. The Semper Fi Fund, serving those who preserve our freedom. For more information, visit them online at www.semperfifund.org. Welcome back here once again on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. As always, it's a privilege to have you with us in the building here today. We mentioned about the Goshen College stats the last time out. Let's now focus in on the home team here on the court tonight, the Bethel College Lady Pilots. Pilots come in averaging 57.5 points a game, giving up 67. They're being out-rebounded by their opponents 37-32. They're averaging 18 turnovers per ball game. They're shooting 71% from the line, 38% from the field, 32% from beyond the three-point mark. Averaging 10.5 assists, 8 steals, and 2 block shots per ball game. Bethel College leads the all-time series against Goshen 40-20. For the Lady Pilots, their dream of ending a 4-game or a 4-season losing streak has gone out the door, as the Lady Pilots are hoping to be able to pick up a win here tonight and move forward with a game coming up on the road later on this week at Grace College. And then, of course, after that, they'll be on the road at Mount Vernon next week. So with Spring Arbor sandwiched in between. Mark, before we go on down here to Brian Miller, Chris Hess joining the staff. Huge addition.
Yeah, we've talked about that on the men's side even. It's sometimes you need that veteran presence down there. You know, the men's staff's a young staff. Ryan's been around the game forever, been on the bench for many years, but sometimes you just need that senior experienced guy who's been there, done that, to sit down there and talk to you during timeouts and just either remind you you're doing the right thing or throw a different idea your way.
All right, let's go on down to Brian Miller.
This time we ask you to please rise and kindly remove your caps as Bethel College Director of Tennis, Mr. John Natale, leads us in tonight's opening prayer.
Let's pray. Dear God, we thank you for another day and for the opportunity we have through your goodness to enjoy the game of basketball. We ask for your protection on each of these athletes as they play the game they love. And we also ask you to give all spectators the spirit to support their team in a manner that would be encouraging to them, and may our attitudes be pleasing to you as well. We ask all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you. Fans, please remain standing as we honor America and those who serve and protect our great country with the playing of our national anthem. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mike Lightfoot Court inside the Gates Gymnasium here on the campus of Bethel College. Welcome to the Wiekamp Center. Thank you for attending tonight's women's basketball Crossroads League matchup between the visitors, the Maple Leafs of Goshen College, and the home squad, your Bethel College Lady Pilots. Let's meet the starting lineups now. First for the visitors from Goshen College. Starting at one guard, a 5'3" junior from Toledo, Ohio, wearing number 10, Haley Archibek. At another guard, 5'5" freshman from Kettering, Ohio, number 22, Mariah Rowe. At another guard for the Maple Leafs, 5'5" senior from Roosevelt, Indiana, number 23, Carly O'Neill. Starting at center, 6'1" freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, number 33, Kiera Murph. And at forward, a 5'9" junior from Clayton, Indiana, number 35, Sydney Stein. Head coach of the Maple Leafs in her 7th season is Stephanie Miller. Now here's a starting lineup for the home team, your Bethel College Lady Pilots. Starting at one forward, 6-foot freshman from Springfield, Ohio, number 1, Jessica Irwin. And another guard for your Pilots, 5'6" sophomore from Goshen, Indiana, wearing number 3, Taya Bruce. At a guard, 5'7" junior from Ann Arbor, Michigan, number 12, Cam Glenn. At guard for BC, 5'6" freshman from Howell, Michigan, number 22, Michelle Moritas. And starting it forward for Bethel, 6'1" senior from Mishawaka, Indiana, she's number 44, Caitlin Elsasser. Head coach of the Lady Pilots in his 2nd season is Eric Gingerich, assisted by Kat Gingerich and Kelsey Key. Fans, tonight's officials for our ladies' action, Mr. Kevin St. John, Mr. Mark Berger, and Mr. Jeff Nix.
All right, there you have all the particulars for tonight's game. The Goshen College Maple Leafs decked out black shorts, black jerseys, purple numbers, and the numbers are trimmed in white. Goshen College written in purple and white on the front of the jerseys. The Bethel College Lady Pilots decked out in the gray shorts, gray jerseys. Numbers are blue, trimmed in white. Bethel written in white, trimmed in blue on the front. Bethel will be moving from left to right on your screen. The Lady Pilots in the opposite direction. The Maple Leafs from right to left. There you go. Ball's tipped up and controlled by Goshen. They move from right to left. With a basketball, Archibek out here in the perimeter far wing. Now dribbles to the top, looks, goes here to the high post left side. Now to Stein, back into the near wing. They go inside of the low post to Murph. And a turnover on the Leafs.
Talked in the pregame, Paul. Goshen comes in averaging 17.5 turnovers. The Pilots averaging 18. And so hopefully we don't see that many, but I have a feeling for a lot of those tonight.
With the ball out here at on the near side wing. Irwin handing it off now to Cam Glenn. Cam looking for some help. Drive shot, no good. A rebound into the hands of the Leafs. Moving from right to left now, Rowe here at the top. Rowe one-on-one against Glenn on the point. Now she'll angle on the dribble to the right side where she hands it off there to O'Neill. Carly O'Neill back over here to Murph. And back to the far side wing they go. Rowe passes inside to the lowest. Nice job inside by Jessica Irwin to come away with the steal. Here's Moritas up the right side now here to Cam Glenn. Now Moritas on the hard left-hand dribble. Bounce pass backdoor stolen away. And then here's Moritas trying to come away with the steal. And that'll set up an easy goal for Sydney Stein. 2-0 Maple Leafs here at the 8:49 mark. Quarter number 1.
4 possessions, 3 turnovers, and a breakaway layup, right?
Here's Moritas, bounce pass to Elsasser. She missed the bunny. And then the ball's into the hands of Kiara Murph. From right to left, now here's Archibek going over here on the near side now to Rowe. Rowe spins, travels, no call. Back out to the top now to O'Neill. O'Neill inside, a running one-hander, short rebound. Comes out long, and it's redirected into the hands of Mariah Rowe. Rowe one-on-one against Moritas. Comes around a screen left side high. Now back out to the top they go. And into the near wing. Pass inside to Murph. She's going to double dribble.
Traveled again, yep. Shuffled her feet before she put it down. That's 2 times. She's had 2 post touches. And she was pretty dominant in that first meeting when they were over at Goshen. But you see her talking to herself. She's frustrated right now.
And the first ball game, she had 14 points and 10 rebounds. Here's Cam Glenn on the right wing. Drives, jump pass into the corner to Taya Bruce. Taya, triple
spot.
off the rim, no good. Ball ricochets into the hands of the Leafs, and they knock it out of bounds off of Sidney Stein, the 5'8" junior from Cascade High School just outside of Indianapolis.
Fortunate for the Pilots, there is 2 Maple Leafs actually fighting for that rebound and couldn't corral it.
Cam Glenn inbounds the ball to the right of the lane, looks, goes inside to Taya Bruce, cutting to the goal, and she ties up the ball game with her first field goal of the night.
It's a nice cut by Taya. Easy bucket there. Defense falling asleep.
Ball here at the top of the ring now, Rowe. Backing out of harm's way. Still on the dribble at the point. Goes left side on the wing to O'Neal. O'Neal comes back out here to the far side to Archibald. Archibald goes to the high post, and nice lead hand defense there by Taya Bruce. Bruce back the other way in the corner, throws it into the bleachers.
Right idea. Skip pass was there, just had too much on it. On the other end, if it's a bounce pass to the post pass probably gets through. Instead, it's a turnover. So right now, we got 4 turnovers against the Maple Leafs, 2 turnovers for the Pilots, and we're not even 3 minutes into the game.
Maple Leafs averaging 17.5 per game. Pilots at 18 per ball game. Here's O'Neal at the top. Goes now to Rowe. Rowe one-on-one against Taya Bruce. Run a high side screen. Rowe still on the dribble, gives it up, foul line extended right. Now here is Archibald. Back out to the top now.
Big
here to Stein.
mismatch down low.
And here's Taya Bruce getting knocked to the floor. Here's a three-point shot, no good. The ball ricochets into the hands of Taya Bruce. Believe that one may have hit O'Neal on the noggin. Here is Moritas. Shovels it into the corner now to Taya. Bruce, 3, ricochets off the iron. And here's Caitlin Elsasser with the save. Out front here now to Cam Glenn. Cam here on the right elbow. Comes out here to Irwin. Irwin on the jab step. Stops. Travel with the basketball.
Dragged her foot there, and Paul, we're 3.5 minutes in, and Jessica hasn't gotten a shot off. I'm a big fan. Jessica needs about 7-8 shots a half, in my opinion. Got to get her involved early. That last possession, Bruce ended up on the floor because she got mismatched against Murph and was working hard. Murph just tossed her aside.
Schimmerhorn and Bruckner will come into the ball game here at the next dead ball. Here's a pass here to Murph, up high left elbow. Back out here to the top now to Carly O'Neal, the 5'5" senior. Hedges to the right wing, around the screen, on the dribble drive, and a whistle on the perimeter. Whistle is going to be called on Irwin.
And that's been a problem of hers all year, getting herself in foul trouble. So, she's not going offensively. She's in trouble. Got her first foul there on a hand check, 35 feet from the basket.
And now it'll be Goshen to inbound the basketball. Mariah Rowe. Rowe on the right wing. Deep right corner now to O'Neal. O'Neal around a screen, flares out. Spins inside the lane, shovels it off to Murph. Drive, shoots, no good. The layup opportunity and is no good as Taya Bruce fouled her, going strong. Nice job by Kira to follow up on her jump shot inside. She's a 69% free throw shooter, and she can break the tie here at the 5:54 mark. Quarter number 1.
Padding her stats there, missing the bunny and getting it right back.
Clara Rauch, 5'9" freshman from Providence, and she's able to knock down the charity toss, and it's a 3-2 contest now. As coming out of the ballgame will be Carly O'Neal. And one more opportunity forthcoming for the youngster from Indianapolis. Now it's a 4-2 ball game after a pair of free throws for Murph. Cam Glenn splits the double team. Bounce pass over to the far side. Irwin into the corner to Brickner. Kelsey goes inside. Nice little pass here to Glenn. Cam shoots from the left block. No good. Cam goes after the rebound. Couldn't get it to go. And now here comes Archibald across the timeline now. Comes back out to the top now here to Stein. Stein deep left corner pass and then quickly inside. Nice job by the Lady Pilots on the defensive end to anticipate the pass inside to the low post area. And a turnover.
It's one of those stats that I get frustrated with when I see stats on the box score. Is that a steal or is that just a bad pass? I mean, technically the Pilots get credit for a steal there, but Goshen player just threw it right to Taya Bruce, and Taya caught it, went the other way, and almost returned the favor.
Danae Lipinski checks into the ballgame. Here's Brickner with a spinner inside, and she traveled with a basketball. Coach, what do we got, 10 turnovers?
10 turnovers in less than 5 minutes of play, Paul. We are well on pace to hit that total of 40 that these teams are averaging. In fact, we may hit it in the first half at this rate.
Here's a pass over here to Lipinski, foul line extended right. Now here's Archibek with a pass inside of the Lopez to Lipinski. Stein muscles in over Taya Bruce and scores. And it's now a 6-2 Leaf lead here. 4:59 to go in the quarter number 1.
And Taya backed off because she already has one foul. And
here's a drive by Irwin down the lane, and she scores the easy goal. 6-4, and her first field goal of the ball game. Here's a drive across the lane by Rowe. Ball deflected and stolen by the Lady Pilots. Up court quickly, another turnover by the Pilots.
Oh, bail.
Somehow, some way, Brickner was able to throw that up and get hammered, as I thought for sure that one was going out of bounds. But Brickner going to the line. She's been effective there thus far on the year, a 78% free throw shooter.
Brickner short on the first. She's one of those that has kept that Pilot free throw average up high throughout the year. She gets to the line often, especially late in games.
Brickner to try to give her club the lead back, or give her club. I'll get it right before the night's over, Coach.
It's all right. We got 2 games. We got 2 tries.
So 1 of 2 for her at the line. So it's now a 6-5 ball game.
Caitlin picking up the blocking foul.
6-5 Maple Leafs here. And at the charity stripe, Danae Lipinski did her prep work at Washington Township High School, a 67% free throw shooter. She calmly knocks it down to make it a 7-5 ball game. Coming out of the game for the Leafs is Sydney Stein. And the free throw is good. So the Leafs a perfect 4 for 4 at the line here in the early stages of the ball game. They lead 8-5.
Official was just checking to make sure you were right there, Paul. I think he doubted you. He had no idea how good and talented you are, but he agrees it is in fact 8-5. We're going to keep playing.
Well, the thing was did I miss a free throw by Brickner? Did she make 1 of 2, right?
Yeah, 1 of 2, yeah.
All right. Here's Brickner from the right corner for 3, well off the mark. The rebound comes long, and Lipinski tracks it down. Now up the right sideline. The Leafs go, and they quickly swing it here to the inside. Pass inside now. Hostetler with the drive inside. Shot no good. And over the timeline comes Cam Glenn, and she turned it over. More turnovers than Rise and Roll today so far, folks. At the 3:58 mark.
That is turnover number 12 here in the first quarter.
And now to move from right to left are the Maple Leafs. Into the half-court set now, Mariah Rowe. Rowe goes on the right side wing. Into the deep right corner. Rowe. Rowe looking for help. You can hear Stephanie Miller right near my mic over here. There's a pass to the far wing. 3-point shot, no good. And off the opportunity by Haley Archibek, and here come the Pilots. Deep right corner, Brickner travel with the basketball.
Yeah. Paul, this season that Goshen is working through is absolute proof that as coaches, we get way too much credit for wins, way too much blame for losses. We certainly affect games, but for the most part, we're as good as the players we have. You know, this Goshen team was in the Final Four a couple years back, right? She's a great coach, but you know, you're only as good as the team you have out there.
But they're very, very young, and this is exactly what we talked about in the pregame show with Steph, is the fact that she took a group 4 years ago and decided they were going to play a lot as freshmen, and did the same thing with the follow-up group. They were going to play a lot as freshmen, and she was going to take her lumps at that point in time.
Yeah, and it's been. I've been there. I've had teams that were 20-1, and I've had teams that were 1-20. And I tell people, ran the same plays, used the same practice plans, and so we do have a problem here. This is what the officials talk about. The scoreboard to our left, which our camera can't pick up behind us, but it is not working. It's stuck at 4 minutes and 1 second. So that's why the officials have been checking on the score.
Okay, so that's good. I'm good with that, because the scoreboard that I look at is the one to my right.
Yep. get another turnover there. But yeah, as coaches, like I said, I ran the same plays every year. And some years we competed for championships in our conference, and other years we were sitting at the bottom and everybody beat up on us. And when you have talent, it's a lot easier to win, and we look a lot better as coaches. But we coach hard every time.
Brickner on the far side wing for Bethel. They're a 3-point trailer. Comes over here to Moritas on the right wing. Michelle directing traffic with the left hand. Passes inside of the low post now to Brickner, and she banks it up and in. 8-7 ball game. Maple Leafs by 1 at the 2:57 mark.
Brickner with 3 now. It's a great basket cut and a good find by Moritas.
Ball out here on the free throw line area by Lipinski, and she traveled with the basketball.
And give Stephanie credit. She's up here. She's encouraging our microphones are picking her up. Yeah, this has got to be tough as a coach. It's just never fun when you're in this situation. And you keep working, you keep growing, you keep encouraging. But she talked about it, needing that support system around her to help her through it.
Moritas splits the double team, backs over here, and they go inside to Taya Bruce. Back out here to Brickner. Back at the Taya in the corner. Taya, 3, no good. A rebound. Caitlin Alsasser tracks it down. And then she throws it to the far side to Moritas. Moritas over to Brickner for 3. Kelsey, 3, ball good. Bethel leads at 10-8.
Kelsey's 28th three-pointer in the year. She's a 37% shooter from outside.
She's got 5 now here in the 6 in the early going. My apologies. There's a
turnover.
Nice job by Caitlin Alsasser with the slap away. Up court quickly. Irwin to the goal. Bounce pass to Alsasser. Irwin should have shot the ball.
Absolutely. It's freshman being unselfish there, trying to give the ball to the senior. Just go up strong and finish.
Here's Rowe flaring out here to the top. Comes out here to the top now to Claire Rao. Now Rowe back to the top. Swings the right side now here to Hostetler. Hostetler double teamed over there in the far sideline. Now into the hands of O'Neal. Shot clock winding down. Pass inside to the low post to Hostetler, and she scores the basket to tie up the ball game here at 10-10.
Bad defense possession by the Pilots because Moritas has to deny the pass there when the ball was picked up over in the wing, and then Taya Bruce has to get in that pass there at the end too.
And a foul whistled on Danae Lipinski, the 5'11 sophomore from Washington Township High School, and that will be
her first, team second.
Thank you.
Stephanie Miller giving the moving screen there, blocking you out.
Yep. And to inbound the ball on the far sideline will be the Bethel College Lady Pilots, Kelsey Brickner. Brickner, who did her prep work at Northridge High School, playing in her 24th game of the year. Moritas at the top now. On the right-hand dribble, goes to the high post now to Alsasser. Caitlin takes the jab step, comes back out now to Moritas. Moritas around the screen, jump pass to Cam. Glenn, 3, after him to go. Alsasser the rebound. Caitlin shoots with the right hand, couldn't get it to go. The rebound hauled out of there by Sydney Stein. Up the right sideline come the Maple Leafs. A pass inside, knocked away. Here come the Pilots. Here's a quick breakout. Cam to the goal. She scores. And the Pilots with the lead at 12-10.
You know, Bethel's being out-rebounded 7-5 right now, Paul, and I get frustrated. Michelle Moritas is the only one that crashes the offensive glass most times. Alsasser's down there by default, but the other players all want to backpedal and get back on defense. And I don't know if that's by design by Coach Gingrich, as the elbow jumper comes up short by Lipinski. But some coaches tell their teams get back on defense, but man, offensive rebounds are so important.
Pilots a 12-10 leader with 23 seconds to go now. Here's the triple. Brickner, good. 15-10. Pilots their largest lead of the ball game. Brickner putting on a shooting display with 9 first quarter points.
She has the ability to put up a lot of points in a short amount of time. We're seeing it here today.
Back the other way. Here's Moritas. Shovels it over here now to Alsasser, and she's knocked off the ball. Here's Stein running out of time and real estate. It will be 1 quarter is in the books here from Mike Lightfoot Court. I'm Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. We'll be back with more of college basketball right after this brief timeout on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
They say growth is a journey and not a destination. At Teachers Credit Union, we agree. Helping our communities grow has been our mission ever since we began our journey in 1931. And supporting our members' growth has helped us to become Indiana's largest credit union. And we're just getting started. Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines. A tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. 15-10 Pilots at the end of one. Coach, what do you got there with those numbers?
Before the stats, Paul, do you know who's in charge of facilities around here? Chris Hess.
Yes, he's coaching basketball now.
Takes a seat on the sidelines, and all of a sudden the scoreboard doesn't work, and he doesn't have time to fix it. He's too busy coaching today. First quarter, Goshen shot 30%, 3 for 10. The Pilots were 40%, 6 for 15. Goshen 0 of 3 from downtown. The Pilots were 2 of 7. Goshen knocked down all 4 of their free throws. The Pilots were 1 of 2. Bethel out rebounding Goshen 8-7. 8 turnovers for the Pilots, 11 for the Maple Leafs.
Michelle Moritas with the ball for Bethel. Goes down to the far wing now to Taya Bruce. Back out here to the right wing now. Is just checking into the game was Kristen Moan. Cam Glenn at the point. Goes to the left side to Moritas with 9 seconds. Moritas goes inside, high to Alsassa. Caitlin double teams. Shovels it to Moritas, and she's traveling with a basketball.
And poor Michelle, she's squinting, wiping her face. She took that one right in the face.
It was a laser beam pass from about 5 feet away.
Licking her lip a little bit there, so she got the bad end of that deal. She takes in the face and travels.
And the official had to wipe off the ball because she had a leather sandwich.
Poor girl.
With the basketball. Archibek on the far side wing, guarded by Moritas, goes left side now here to Stein, back out to the top now to Lipinski. On the far wing, Rowe. Comes back out to the point now, Stein. Stein lobs it inside to the high post, Lipinski. Lipinski turns. How about a 3-second violation?
Both
3-point shot, far side wing, no good. Ball deflected around, and Maple Leafs, Sydney Stein wins a little bit of a war. Here's a drive inside, and running one-handers, no good. Rebound, Murph. She couldn't get it to go. And then there's a foul called on Murph as she knocked over Taya Bruce.
Her first team's.
Maple Leafs can't buy a basket right now. Yeah. Last time they scored, Coach, was at the 132 mark of the first stanza.
Yeah, they're 3 of 12 from the floor now.
Pilots in the midst of a 5-0 run. Here's Cam Glenn with the 3 from the far wing. It ricochets out here on the perimeter, where it's tracked down by Haley Archibek. Archibek up the left sideline, now to Stein. Stein near wing. Looks for help, dribbles to the top, now drives down the right side of the lane, leans and scores. Nice play by her driving down the lane. It's now 15-12, 8:27 to go.
Yeah, she turned that corner with, she knew what she wanted to do, and she did it.
Taya Bruce back out to Moritas, not to the right wing now. There's a pass inside. Kaylin Alsasser with another laser beam pass inside. Well, I tell you what, they need to get Johnny Bench out here with his mitt.
Coach Gingrich is laughing at her as well, saying, take it easy. Both good ideas. Both players were open, but she about killed both of them with those passes. So got to have a little touch on it sometimes.
Yeah,
it can't always be Brett Favre.
Yeah, once in a while you got to come with a changeup. Here's the ball here to Lipinski on the left wing. Now hands it off now here to Archibek. Archibek, ball reversal left. Now comes back out to the far wing, now to Rowe. Rowe looking for some help. Now dribbles to the point. Still on the dribble with 9 to go on the shot clock. Around a right elbow screen, Rowe. Flares out right. Now she drives. Bounce pass inside to Stein. Shot no good, and a whistle as Taya Bruce was down on the hardwood, and she's going to be guilty of her second infraction.
2-shot foul as she was laying at the feet of the shooter. So Becca will come in for Taya as Taya heads the bench. You know, it's not a very deep team.
And the free throw shooting has kept the Maple Leafs in the game, Coach. If you look at that box score, that's where they have been right now. Yeah, it's now 15-13 ball game.
Perfect 5 of 5 from the foul line. So it helps when you can't buy a basket, you're not shooting well, that you get some of those freebies.
Second free throw again, no good. So 1 of 2. That time for the former Cascade Comet. He comes in averaging 8.5, 6 rebounds, a 67% shooter from the charity stripe. Cam Glenn at the point now. Still on the right-hand dribble.
Zone
nearly lost it.
Here.
Goes to Becca Schemmerhorn now to Brickner. Brickner drives, shoots and scores from the right block. 17-13. Brickner with a fine first half of offensive play.
She's got 11 points. Goshen went to a 1-3-1 zone. Irwin was wide open in the corner, but Brickner just turned the corner. That's going to be Jessica Irwin picking up her second foul. So she'll join Taya in the 2-foul club. Still 7:13 to play here in the first half.
And she looked over at Eric Gingrich. She says, I'm all right.
Yeah, she said, I'm good, coach, but my money is on her picking up her third foul in the next 3 minutes. We'll see.
Here's a pass out on the perimeter now here to Archibek. Back into the deep left corner to Rowe. Rowe back out to the point to Archibek. Archibek back to Rowe. Rowe will launch the triple. Off the iron to go. Ball into the hands of Irwin, and then she lost the handle on it. And then here's an easy goal by Kira Murph as she was able to scramble and pick up the shot. It's now a 17-15 ball game.
That's a tough turnover there because Jessica lost her footing, and as she was falling down, she was smart enough to try and dribble, so it wasn't a turnover, but then she lost control of the ball as she fell down.
Pass to the high post to Irwin. Irwin, pull up 12-footer, angles off the iron now into the hands of Danae Lipinski. Up court quickly now, Archibek stops left wing. Now coming down the lane is Lipinski. Instead of taking the charge, the Lady Pilots get away with one there. Up court quickly, Irwin. Irwin. Right sideline, right in front of our vantage point. She'll go to the top, where she gives way to the far wing, now to Cam Glenn. Cam comes back out to Brickner at the top. Kelsey waiting for a cutter, goes to Irwin on the right wing. Irwin looking for help, lobs it inside, now to Brickner. Back out here to Rebecca Schemmerhorn. Rebecca bounce pass inside, and a kick off of Goshen. And with 6:07 to go on the second quarter, Lady Pilots leading 17-15. It'll be BC basketball on the inbound to the right of the lane from our viewpoint.
And I love the fact that as a freshman, Irwin is vocal. She's talking to teammates now. As soon as that dead ball happens, she's over here with Coach Gingrich talking about what she saw. They might want to run.
Cam Glenn with a shot from the far corner. Good for three. It's now 20-15 off the assist from Moan.
Pilots are 3 of 9 from downtown, and that's the reason they have this lead. They've been able to hit that outside shot tonight.
3-point shot by Clara Rout, no good, and the Pilots with possession again.
Corner should be wide open against the 1-3-1 zone.
Yeah, here's Moan into the far corner. Ball deflects off of Archibek out of bounds.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I thought that was off Becca's hand. I think the Pilots got a break there in that one.
Here's Moan on the far sideline, comes out here to the top now to Cam Glenn. Cam on the dribble drive, drives down the lane and shoots and scores with the left hand. Lady Pilots their largest lead in a week and a half, 22-15, 5:37 to go here in quarter number 2. We'll take a timeout and bring it back at you. Lady Pilots 22, the Leafs 15 on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
Did you know that Gates Toyota has over 100 certified pre-owned at one Southside location? Just over the hill from high prices at Gates Toyota. Not just the prettiest dealership in Mishawaka, also the prettiest cars.
Gates knows. Now you know.
Mothers know minivans. Gates knows minivans. More vans, more colors, more models and brands. Gates, more locations in Mishawaka, more savings.
Gates knows. Now you know.
Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Glad you can join us here on Regional Radio Sports. 22-15. Lady Pilots in the midst of a 5-0 run.
Goshen struggling defensively. They go zone. The Pilots knock down the three-pointer from the corner. They go man-to-man. The Pilots drive and get layups.
Maple Leaf basketball here in the half-court set now. They're moving from right to left. Here's a drive down the right side of the lane. Shot no good by Stein. Murph is there for the rebound, throws up a prayer, and finally Schemmerhorn comes down with it, and then doing a nice job for Goshen is Carly O'Neill to get her hands in there to create the 50-50 ball, and it'll be Maple Leaf ball on the alternating possession arrow. Good to see Chris Hest out on that bench, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, keep an eye on Sydney Stein. She's grabbing the outside of that knee right now and does not look comfortable. I don't know if she came down awkward on that last shot. She's really fighting through some pain playing out there.
Yeah, she's having a real difficult time moving around.
Yeah, stability's not there, so we'll see if she tries to make a cut what happens here.
O'Neill to inbound the ball to the left of the lane. Comes out to Rowe, deep left corner. Rowe there, one-on-one against Schemmerhorn. Goes inside. Nice job by Brickner to anticipate the pass inside. With the lead hand, she comes away with the steal.
Turnover number 12.
Here's Schemmerhorn Goes to the high post now to Irwin. Irwin looking for some help. Goes to Moan in the deep corner. Now she dribbles. Goes inside now to Schemmerhorn. Spins it back out, and she throws it away. Here come the Leafs. Up court quickly now. Here's Stein. 18-foot shot. In and out, no good. Rebound, Murph deflects it into the hands of Brickner. Here come the Pilots. Irwin up the right sideline now. Goes inside to Brickner running the floor. Into the corner now. Schemmerhorn hits Irwin in the trailer. Irwin drives, shoots, and scores off the nice little dish. 24-15.
Pilots had a turnover opportunity. Stein just threw it in bounds, and nobody was looking. Cam Glenn was just a
pull up 14-footer by Rowe, no good. Here come the Pilots now. Schemmerhorn now here to Cam Glenn. Cam stops, looks for help, backs it out of harm's way on the right wing now. Now, Bethel will settle down here at the 4-minute mark. Here is Irwin into the corner to Cam Glenn. Cam with a lightning quick step to the goal. Shot no good. Rebound Murph.
A lot of contact there by Murph. No call.
Here's the drive by O'Neal. Shooting and scoring. Nice job by her to finish it off. 24-17 Pilots. 3:49 to go.
O'Neal's first 2 of the game. She averages about 9.5 points. That's a nice spin move and finish.
That ended a 3-minute drought by the Maple Leafs. There's Irwin on the far wing now. Still on the dribble. Ball reversal to Moan in the corner. Moan triple hard off the iron rebound. Cam Glenn is mugged. Jump ball. That's Bethel ball.
It's going to be Bethel's 4th offensive rebound. Subs checking in here.
And multiple substitutions for both ball clubs. Lipinski checks back in. Murphy will check out now. And Archibek checks back in for Goshen.
Interesting one here with Taya Bruce coming in with 2 fouls. 3:32 to play in the half.
And so it'll be Bruce, Michelle Moritas, Caitlin Alsasser, Kelsey Brickner, and Schemmerhorn. There's a pass into the corner. Schemmerhorn, 3 off the rim. Good. Bruce the rebound, and she is mugged inside by Lipinski. And with 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go on the second quarter clock, Pilots a 24-17 leader. Bruce going to the line, I think.
Yeah, she really came down hard on that wrist. It's Lipinski's 2nd foul, team 2nd.
That's her left hand she's holding, Coach.
Yeah, offensive rebound number 4. That's Taya's 4th rebound. Go along with her 2 points.
We'll see how she does here. She came into today's game shooting 70% at the line. And the right-hander shoots and scores to make it a 25-17 ball game. 3 minutes and 26 seconds remaining in the second stanza. And one more for the former Goshen High School product. Right-handed free throw, good again. 26-17, Lady Pilots with the lead here. Over the timeline now, here is O'Neal handing it off to the far side to Rauch. Rauch comes right a high side screen, gives up the dribble. Still on the dribble, swings it to the far side to O'Neal. O'Neal on the drive, jump pass into the corner. Corner, 3-point shot of the way, good for Rauch. That's her 32nd of the year, and that was a dandy there.
Much needed 3-pointers. They've struggled scoring. Cuts that lead down. Here's Brickner with the answer.
And she answers again. So it was 26-20. Now it's back to 29-20. The Lady Pilots at the 2:51 mark. What a sensational 14-point first half for Brickner.
5 for 6 from the floor. 3 of 4 for down.
Here's Lipinski with the drive. No good. A rebound. Michelle Moritas. And she got a bit of a scrum inside.
Guess who's on the floor?
Taya Bruce, she's been on the floor a lot.
Yeah. It's going to be a foul on Stein.
Just love her attitude, though, Taya Bruce.
I love the fact that about, 10 games ago, she actually started smiling, though.
She's smiling right now.
Yeah, for the first year and a half that she was here, though, she just had the look like she wanted to punch somebody in the face the entire game. And now she smiles and she's having a little bit more fun. And even though her team's struggling, she's still working hard, but it's nice to see her smile and having fun.
Schemmerhorn at the top, goes now to Taya Bruce on the right wing. Now Taya looking for help. Looks, comes out to the top to Schemmerhorn. 13 on the shot clock, back to Alsasser, foul line extended left. Now to Cam Glenn in the corner. Cam hedges off a screen, still on the dribble.
Lipinski's just nudging Alsasser. That's an easy call by the official.
Yeah, got her in the small of the back, and that'll be the 4th fouls on the Leafs.
Yeah, Caitlin Alsasser's not a small post player.
And if you can push her out.
Lipinski moved her 6 inches, 6 inches, 6 inches. It was all lower body nudging. That's 3 fouls on Lipinski, but that was an easy call.
And now coming into the ball game will be Akira Murph, the 6'1 freshman, former Lawrence Central Bear, as Michelle Moritas will inbound the ball to the left of the lane now. Checking into the ball game for the first time tonight for Bethel will be Katie Morgan, the Ohio native. Schemmerhorn is going to grab some pine.
Eventually we will put the ball back in play, right?
Moritas to the left of the lane from our viewpoint. Goes into the bounce pass here. And back to Moritas in the corner. Michelle across the lane. Stops and she traveled with the basketball.
Just got to go up with that. She had the corner turned on Murph. Attack the basket and finish.
And now it'll be Goshen basketball to move from right to left.
Both
trailing
teams.
29-20.
I'm sorry, Bethel now with 13 turnovers. Goshen only with 12. They had 11 in the first quarter.
O'Neal hands it up to the far side to Archibek. Now back to the point now, Rauk swings it over here to Stein, coming off a screen. Now she'll back it in into the deep left corner now. Rauk shots an air ball and the rebound. And then here comes the Lady Pilots. Here is Cam Glenn on the dribble, stops, looks, flares back out, and she'll reset the offense now to Caitlin Alsasser. Caitlin waiting for some help. Looking. Caitlin with a fastball here to the right side. To Moritas and back to Cam on the near end. Cam launches the triple way off the mark. Ball ricochets off of one of the Pilots inside. It's Leaf basketball. The Pilots lead 29-20. $1:24 to go, second stanza.
Scott Reese might be looking at Alsasser and seeing if she wants to play a little softball here.
With the ball here on the near side wing now, Claire Rao. From down along the river at Providence High School in Indiana. Way down along the river. There's a three-point shot at the top, off the rim, off the backboard, off the rim and in. Claire Rao, her second of the night. That's a dandy there. 29-23, 59 seconds to go. That's a huge basket for the Leafs.
Yeah, she's got 6 points now, hitting that second triple.
Taya Bruce comes back out high to Alsasser. Caitlin looking, still on the dribble. And she's trying to direct some traffic, goes now to Cam Glenn. Cam looking for some help, goes back out to the Morgan. Back to Moritas on the far side wing. Moritas with 7. Goes inside to the high post to Caitlin. Caitlin's backing in, leans, shoots, scores. Caitlin, her first field goal is with 29 seconds to go. Here in the second stanza. Here's O'Neal with a drive. Kick back out here to Archibek. Archibek spins it over to the far side. 3 on the way, air ball. Alsasser tracks it down with 16 seconds to go in the quarter.
Be smart, hold it for one shot. There you go.
Here is the ball in the hands of Cam Glenn with 8. Cam drives down the left sideline, stops, turn around, 14-footer off the rim, no good. The rebound ricochets into the hands of Murph. 2 quarters are in the books. From Mike Lightfoot court, the Bethel College Lady Pilots will go to the locker room with a 31-23 lead. We'll be back with more of College Buckets right after this on Regional Radio Sports. College basketball here today on Regional Radio Sports. Glad you can join us here. Don't forget the Bethel Baseball Winter Hitting Clinic is coming your way on February 15th, ages 7 through 13. From 5 to 7. Once again, that's February 15th. Don't forget to reach out to our good friend Seth Zartman, the baseball coach here, for the Bethel Baseball Winter Baseball Camp. The hitting session is coming your way at the hitting facility here on the Bethel College campus. We'll be back with more of College Buckets right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
Radio Sports Network. That may be my professional title, but did you know that I'm also the son of a U.S. Navy World War II veteran and a proud father?
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Whatever you want to grow, Teachers Credit Union is ready to help. Visit a branch or tcunet.com today. Teachers Credit Union, financial solutions. Teachers Credit Union deposits are federally insured by the NCUA, and we are an equal housing opportunity.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines. A tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Garden. Glad you could be a part of our broadcast here today. Let's go through our halftime numbers. 31-23 in favor of the Lady Pilots at the intermission.
Goshen shooting 8 of 28, 29%. They're 2 of 10 from three-point range, 20%. 5 of 6 from the foul line, 83%. They've got 15 rebounds, 5 on the offensive end, 4 assists, 12 turnovers. Individually, Sydney Stein with 7 points, 3 rebounds. Kiera Murph has 4 points, 7 rebounds. Haley Archerbeck has a rebound and an assist. Mariah Rowe has 1 rebound. Carly O'Neill has 2 points and a rebound. Hannah Hostetler, 2 points. Claire Rauch, 6 points off the bench, knocking down a couple threes. And Danae Lipinski has 2 points and a rebound. Lipinski playing with 3 fouls. For the Pilots, 12 of 28, 43%, 4 of 13 from downtown, 31%. They're 3 of 4 from the foul line, 75%. 21 rebounds, 5 on the offensive end. 8 assists, 13 turnovers. Individually, Jessica Irwin, 4 points and a rebound. Caitlin O'Sasser, 2 points, 4 rebounds. Taya Bruce, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Cam Glenn, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Michelle Moritas has 4 assists and a steal. Beck Skimmerhorn has 2 rebounds. Kelsey Brickner, 14 points, 3 rebounds.
We'll be back with more of College Buckets right after this brief timeout. A sneak preview of the second game in the nightcap right after this.
Centier Bank is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success through business and by servicing the communities of northern and central Indiana. Centier's not-for-sale promise pledges to the communities we serve that we will continue to preserve independent banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank is proud to serve the communities of northern and central Indiana. Please visit Centier.com for more information, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, member FDIC.
They came from every corner of the country, from small towns and big cities. But they all shared one thing in common. They belonged to a family called Marines. A tough and determined few dedicated to protecting everything we hold sacred. And still, they come. Celebrate the history of those proud few who have earned the title Marine.
Nothing but top-selling models at Gates of Granger, Michiana's newest, hottest pre-owned sales lot. If you can't tell the difference, why pay the difference? Only you and I know it's used, and I won't tell.
Gates knows. Now you know.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. I'm Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. Glad you could be a part of the broadcast. Game number 2, we'll try to make a seamless transition from A to B as we'll go from Bethel women to Bethel men right here on Regional Radio Sports. But just to give you a sneak preview of what we got going on here in game number 2, the Goshen College Maple Leafs under first-year head coach John Trope. John, of course, has recently just been named they've taken off the interim tag, and he is now the head coach. They come into the ball game with a record of 10-14, 3-9 in the Crossroads League, having lost 6 straight basketball games. The Bethel College Pilots, who have lost 4 straight ball games, certainly trying to right the ship, if you will, here in the 109th meeting between the Pilots and the Maple Leafs. Pilots lead the all-time series 79-30. Goshen won the last meeting at Goshen College at the Roman Gingrich Athletic Center, 106-96. Bethel, during that ball game, had a 71-57 lead with 12:19 remaining in the game. Pilots had 6 guys in double figures, but Goshen College was led by Logan Primerano, who's no longer on the basketball team. Matter of fact, he's not even at the college anymore. He's been removed. Christian Greider had 18. Billy Geschke, one of the senior stars, had 23 points. Goshen had 14 triples. So there you have some of the details in this one. Keep in mind that the Goshen College Maple Leafs and the Bethel College Lady Pilots game here with our halftime score up on the scoreboard at 31-23. We'll be coming back and setting the stage for the Crossroads League and all the details. That's coming your way right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
There's always a moment of truth where I say, look, it's either put up or shut up. And it was time to put up. I had crossed that thin line. It was 100+ degrees. We were hot. We were on fire. We were yelling our hearts out. You could feel the intensity rising. Even in our tiredness, even in our weakness, even in our pain, we continue to push. I told myself, you can suck up the pain for another mile and a half, and you will be a Marine. Not many people believe that I could do it. I don't know where I got the energy from. I don't know where the pain went to. But all I know is that I had what it took. I am a United States Marine.
PFC Darrell Willis serves his country as a Marine. Will you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. It is Crossroads League women's and men's basketball here today from Mike Lightfoot Court. Of course, women are in action tonight all across the league. Men played last night, respectively. Of course, here on this 31st of January, Indiana Wesleyan in a great matchup against Marion. We have Marion right now 11-1 in the Crossroads League women's standing. Indiana Wesleyan ranked number 20. Of course, Marion ranked 5th. Indiana Wesleyan at 10-2 on the year. Huge ball game. Iowa winners of 4 straight. Marion winners of 10 straight basketball games. Taylor will be on the road at St. Francis. St. Francis, and of course, Taylor both lost their last, or check that. Taylor lost its last time out. St. Francis is coming off a win in their last game against Mount Vernon, and that's where they stand in the Crossroads League standing. It's Marion 11-1, Indiana Wesley 10-2, Taylor 9-3, Huntington 8-4, St. Francis 7-5. Then you have a pair of teams at 6-6, which are Grace and Mount Vernon. Nazarene, Spring Arbor is at 2-10, Bethel at 1-11, and Goshen at 0-2. And Goshen and Grace, of course, played last time out, and of course Grace was able to come away with a win. And now Grace tonight is on the road at the Marilat Athletic Complex out in Huntington to take on the Foresters. So once again, it's Iowa at Marion, Taylor at St. Francis, Spring Arbor at Mount Vernon, Grace at Huntington, and of course our matchup here today, Goshen at Bethel. And if you're sneaking ahead, looking ahead, which you shouldn't be doing, you can if you're listening to the broadcast because you're probably not a coach. But in case you are, shame on you. Huntington is at Indiana Wesley, Mount Vernon at Taylor. Marion will be at Spring Arbor. Bethel will be on the road at Grace. You can join us for the broadcast on that on Saturday. And St. Francis will be on the road at Goshen. We'll be back with the start of the third quarter right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back here on Mike Lightfoot Court. My name is Paul Condry, along with Coach Mark Gardner. Mark, as you look at this second half for both of these clubs, and looking over the numbers, and you know, we talked about that in the open. We talked about both of these ball clubs have really struggled shooting the basketball. Goshen comes into today's action shooting 33% from the field. Bethel is shooting 38% from the field. If you look at the first half numbers, I mean, it is absolutely right, spot on. Goshen's shooting only 28%. Bethel's shooting a little bit better than they normally do at 42%, and that's really the difference in the ball game, is just a couple extra baskets.
But other than the three-pointers, can you think of any baskets that Bethel has made that have not been layups?
They have not made a mid-range jump shot on the evening.
No, Irwin attacked the basket. El Sassers was a post move. Teo Bruce was down low on a rebound. Cam Glenn driving. So Bethel's shooting percentage is a little bit high compared to their season average, but it's because Goshen's get up layups have just been beat off the dribble when they went man-to-man. You know, credit Goshen, 11 turnovers in the first quarter, only 1 in the second quarter. You know, meanwhile, Bethel had 6 in the first and 7 in the second, so Bethel was consistent with not taking care of the ball, but Goshen really cleaned things up because they were struggling big time. But they shot 3 of 10 in the first quarter, 5 of 18 in the second quarter. So you've got to put the ball in the basket to win games. If you're not going to put it in often, you've got to do what Bethel's doing. You've got to hit those three-point shots. You know, Bethel with 4 3-pointers now. When you've got an 8-point lead, you don't have to shoot real well if you can knock down threes as opposed to twos.
The scoreboard to our left, which is not available via our video feed, is a non-factor for you and I. The question I have is, if this game goes down to the wire, is it a factor for the student athletes whatsoever? What do you think?
Not anymore, because they have the time, you know, and Tanya can get this on our camera screen. Right above the shot clock is the game clock. And so it's not like you're at a disadvantage going that way because you don't know how much time's left on the game clock. It would be. Sometimes they turn the shot clock off under 30, but that game clock should still stay up there. And so it shouldn't be a problem with the new updated shot clocks. Now, years ago when they only had the shot clock up there and it didn't have the game clock above it, it's an absolute disadvantage for one team. As far as the score, you know, you should be able to. The score itself is right. It's just the clock, but the score is right. So,
you know, we talked about body language. The Bethel men's body language is really focused and at the task at hand, looking at the way they're out here today warming up.
Yeah, and these guys, you know, it's a 4-game losing streak by a combined 12 points.
Yep.
You know, and no teams on the outside, fans outside, they could care less if you lose by 1 or lose by 100. They're just happy when you lose, especially when you're Bethel. You know, teams, you got a target on your jersey when you wear that Pilot jersey, and when you're consistently good and you go through a 4-game losing streak, everybody else is kind of celebrating that. So, and they owe this Goshen team. You know, Goshen hammered them over at their place, and Goshen had a good time doing it. They celebrated throughout that game. It was a little uncalled for in how they handled it, I thought, and certainly the Pilots remember that, and no better way to end this losing streak than to come back home and beat up on a team that beat you and try and start a winning streak.
When everybody has their hand out for your sweet refund check, Gates Toyota says, we don't need no stinking refund check. $5 measly gets you a Toyota Corolla for just $159 a month. Just a $5 makes you a driver at Gates Toyota. Glad you could be with us here today. I'm Paul Condry, along with Coach Mark Gardner, Tanya Condry up there, along with Laura Hoover, doing a wonderful job, and the rest of our broadcast team, all about the gymnasium. They're giving you a wide variety of camera angles to look at things. But in the meantime, stay tuned for game number 2 coming your way after this one concludes. We'll have an abbreviated post-game show, and before we jump into the next one. You know, one thing for Goshen, the fact that Danae Lipinski got into some early foul trouble, it's going to be interesting because she's a physical player inside. The question is, how physical is she going to want to play in the ball game? And the second part of my question, Coach, Sydney Stein, Goshen product, still rubbing that right knee, concerned about that knee.
Yeah, she still is, but she got up and down the floor. I kept an eye on her in those next couple possessions. She ran the floor well. She played aggressive, so I think Stein's going to be okay. In Lipinski's case, if you're an aggressive player, you're an aggressive player. She's probably going to come out and pick up fouls and play aggressive because that's her nature. And, you know, you just understand that as a coach, that if she picks one up, it's probably going to be because she's playing hard. You said Laura Hoover joined us tonight. I was going to call Laura a liar because she texted me before the game and said, I'll keep you up to date with score updates. And I've been waiting for score updates. And at halftime, you and I looked on the DAC stats to give halftime scores around the conference.
And we realized that we're an hour ahead. Yeah.
We started an hour before everybody else. So in 8 minutes, all the other games will tip off. So that's why Laura hasn't sent me any score updates. So she's off the hook on that one.
All right, Lady Pilots decked out gray jerseys, gray shorts, blue numbers, trimmed in white. Bethel will have the ball to start off this third quarter, enjoying a 31-23 halftime lead. The Goshen College Maple Leafs decked out black shorts, black jerseys. Of course, they have a purple and white diamond on the side of both of the shorts. The jerseys are black with purple numbers trimmed in white. On the floor for the Pilots, it'll be Taya Bruce along with Michelle Moritas, Jessica Irwin, Cam Glenn, and Caitlin Elsasser. For Stephanie Miller's squad, it'll be Archibek Rowe, O'Neill, Murph, and Stein, respectively. Here's Caitlin Elsasser with a drive down the right side of the lane, and she scores to give the Pilots a 33-23 advantage at the 9:43 mark.
The Pilots are picking apart. If they go 1-3-1, the Pilots knock down the corner jump shot. That time they went 3-2, and Caitlin Elsasser took advantage of the open lane.
Murph with a spin, kick back out here to the top, and then quickly the ball reversal to the far wing to O'Neill. O'Neill stops, skip pass into the corner, inside to Murph. Murph turns, squares, shoots,
Traveled.
and she traveled with the basketball. Boy, I tell you what, she's got the athletic skills and the physical ability. She needs to be working on that mic and drill for the next 4 years.
Yeah, she squared up, kind of jumped, and then reset and jumped again.
Nice job by Caitlin to keep herself stationary in that position. Here's Elsasser. She traveled with the ball there, drug her pivot foot. Back out to the top now, Irwin. Now here to Taya Bruce. Taya squares up left wing, looking for a cutter. 12 on the shot clock. Back out to Moritas. Back to Cam Glenn on the right wing now. Deep right corner, Irwin. Irwin, long three. Comes out long now to Archibek in a foot race, 2-on-1. Here's the drive. Oh, and a nice play by Glenn to come away with it. And then here's Stein scoring on the putback, and Glenn is going to be whistled for the foul.
Good hustle by Stein. You always want to hustle as a trailer. Don't ever assume your teammate's going to make a layup, and in that case, she missed because of Glenn's defense, but then Glenn picks up her second foul, the and one opportunity for Stein.
Stein, a 67% free throw shooter. Averages 8 points and 6 rebounds a game, and the right-handed free throw is off the rim, no good. And it'll be BC basketball. Here's Moritas traveling on the left side. Back now to Irwin, back here to Taya Bruce. Taya back out to the top to Irwin. Irwin, jumper, good from three. Straight on, 36-25. Lady Pilots at the 8:33 mark of the third.
Not surprised to see her miss the one from the corner, knock down the one from the top of the key. Most young shooters have a narrow, deep court in their backyard or their driveway, so they get many more attempts from the top of the key. There's a turnover and a steal, or a foul. Foul's going to be on O'Neill. Irwin gets that steal, but yeah, we talk about that you practice shooting from about the free throw lane out in your backyard or your driveway, and then you come out here to college and have to shoot from that deep corner and percentage extended drop.
Are you trying to tell me that people play basketball in their driveways still?
Well, I don't know if they do anymore. I'm talking about back when we were growing up.
I was going to say.
Black and white TV, that's right.
Yeah.
They play on their PS3 and whatever else they have.
Here's Taya Bruce, deep right corner triple, off the rim, a good rebound, ball ricochets out of the play. And here, what a great play by Taya Bruce to keep the ball in play. And then they're going to say the ball went out of bounds off of the Pilots. But good hustle by Taya and Michelle Moritas, respectively.
And Michelle's around every loose ball. I told you early in the first half, she's always attacking that offensive glass, not afraid of anything down there.
Here's a near steal in the backcourt by Moritas. As Carly O'Neill comes over the timeline now, puts on the brakes here at the top, and they'll back it out of harm's way. The 45-foot mark. Back out now here, Murph comes up high now, waiting for a cutter. Murph, one dribble, gives off now to O'Neill. Pass inside here, nice job. They go inside to Stein, and she missed the bunny. They ran their offense to perfection that time and missed the layup. Moritas up court quickly now here to Irwin. Just to the goal, and a foul on Murph. Nice play by Jess going strong to the goal, and she'll earn the hoop opportunities here at the 7:36 mark.
It's a great lead pass by Moritas. She won't get an assist for it because of the foul, but she knocks down these free throws. Michelle should have picked up assist number 5.
Free throw on the way, rattles around and in for Jess. It's now 37-25. I think I could say this with great, they're having all kinds of problems as the horn is sound, and there it goes. It got stuck on automatic.
Worked out well for Coach Miller as it gave her time to put in a sub for Murph.
Murph comes out of the ball game now. Hostetler, the 6'2 senior from Bethany Christian, will check in.
You know, both men's coaches are sitting in the stands watching this game, just shaking their head thinking, We don't want this extended horn and these clock issues during our game. We just want to play ball.
38-25, Lady Pilots now. 7.5 to go in the third.
9 points for Irwin this evening.
Ball here on the near side to O'Neal. Carly goes back out to the top now to Hostetler. Now the far wing now, Archibald. Back out to the top now to O'Neal. O'Neal, right elbow, comes around a moving screen. Here's a pass inside of Hostetler. She's been in the lane longer than it takes to play the national anthem. And she traveled with the basketball.
Turnover number 15.
And it'll be BC basketball. Here's Michelle Moritas on the dribble towards the right wing. Still on the dribble, hands it off now to Ann Arbor product Cam Glenn. Back to Irwin. Irwin on the step back dribble, comes back to Cam. Cam on the dribble, drives down the lane as she was hammered and no call. And that ball goes out of bounds. It'll be BC bucket.
Good pump fake and drive there by Cam. Defense was able to recover, knock it out of bounds. So 12 on the shot clock as the Pilots reset underneath their own basket.
Cam Glenn to look things over. She calls out the play. Looking. Comes over here to Brickner. Kelsey on the dribble down the lane. Shoots, no good. Rebound. Hostetler. And now Hostetler's asking for someone to come get the ball. And now it's the person of Archibald. Archibald over the timeline now.
Thought they were going to get a rare 10-second violation on a rebound.
Here's O'Neal inside. Once again, 3 seconds and no call. On the far wing, three-point shot good by Archibald. That's her 9th of the year, making it a 38-28 ball game.
Only a 17% three-point shooter on the year, but she knocked down a big one for her team right there.
Here's Cam Glenn with a drive down the lane. Kick out to Taya Bruce. Taya on the dribble. Inside here, 12-foot shot baseline left. Good. And by Brickner. She's been awesome tonight. 40-28 Lady Pilots, 6:07 to go in the third.
Kelsey now 6 of 8 from the floor, 16 points tonight.
Here's Rowe with the jump pass into the corner now here to Archibald. She drives across the lane. Couldn't get it to go, and then Hostetler
picks up her first.
Knocks Brickner into February. And she not happy with the call. And timeout, Steph Miller. 40-28 Lady Pilots, 5:55 to go. Third quarter. We'll be back with more of College Buckets live from beautiful Mike Lightfoot Court on the campus of Bethel College inside the Gates Gymnasium. We're live from the Wiekamp Athletic Center. Come and join us right after this on Regional Radio Sports.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. When St. Jude finds something that works well with a certain cancer, they share that with everybody. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge. We just have to worry about helping Chandler, and he's just my heart.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul Condry along with Coach Mark Gardner. The Maple Leafs 1-23, 0-12 overall. They are 0-13. They have yet to win a road game. Lost 18 straight contests. The Pilots, 9 straight losses. They haven't won in over a month. Bethel has been outscored by 189 points in the last 9 games. That's an average of 21 points per ball game. So right now, 40-28, Lady Pilots by 12 at the 5:55 mark, third quarter.
Both teams looking for their first win of 2018, right?
Indeed. The Lady Pilots will move it from right to left now as Michelle Moritas will walk it up. And she's going to be picked up there by Lipinski as they're going to try the trap. Going to deep right corner now to Brickner. Back out to Moritas on the right wing. Back to Brickner. Now into the low post to Irwin. Shovels it over here to Taya Bruce. Taya on the drive, and it's slapped away by Hostetler. And now here comes Rowe for Goshen. Into the corner now to Stein. Stein, 3, good. 40-31, Lady Pilots trail or lead by 9 now.
Not sure if our listeners picked that up, but Stephanie Miller was talking to Stein on that whole break, saying wide, Sydney wide, and she did a good job of running to the corner, staying out wide for the easy pass and score.
Here's Irwin deep left corner now. Comes back out to the top now to Brickner. Brickner drives down the lane and it's stolen away. Back the other way, here's O'Neal. One-on-one against Moritas, leans in, shoots, scores. and she is fouled. Maple Leafs making a late rush here in the third quarter.
This goes back to what we said, Paul, that it's not a lack of effort that these teams have such bad records this year. Coach Miller's a good coach. You hear coaching them up, and when they do what she wants, they execute. You see the potential with these teams. So a little 5-0 run here, chance to be a 6-0 run.
O'Neal here at the 5-0 far mark. Can help her opportunity and her team's cause. The right-handed shot way off the rim. Ball ricochets into the hands of Rebecca Schemmerhorn. And she'll turn it over to Cam Glenn. And a whistle. We have a clock situation, Coach.
Yeah, shot clock, game clock. Didn't start on that possession, so we're going to go 4:58 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock.
Schemmerhorn will walk it up over the timeline now.
Lipinski's close to picking up her 4th foul.
Ball goes into the hands of Bruce. Now to Schemmerhorn, inside to Elsasser. Kalen to the goal. She scores, and she is fouled. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective for Kate.
No, and that's the one that drives you nuts as a coach. You get a hand on the pass out here at half court. One of your players dives on the floor, almost gets the steal, and then you end up with an and one opportunity after all that hustle.
The Lady Pilots certainly have not had any breaks, and for them to get something like that, that certainly helps. Elsasser knocks it down to increase Bethel's lead to 10 now, 43-33. Caitlin, a 64% free throw shooter. She's widened the base on her free throw shooting.
7 points, 5 rebounds tonight.
Deep left corner, Lipinski. Lipinski still on the dribble. Looking. Wrap around to the low post now to Stein. Back over here to the right side. 3-point shot, O'Neal, good. 43-36. A second 3-point basket in the last minute and a half for the Leafs.
Yeah, they were 2 of 10 at the half. They're now 5 of 13. They've knocked down.
Here's the ball in the top now to Taya Bruce. She thinks about the triple. Now goes to Shimmer inside to Caitlin. Caitlin shovels it to Taya Bruce, back out to the top to Cam. Cam, pull up, 16-footer. No good. 16? How about I was going to say 6-footer, and then somehow 16 came out. Here's a drive, a shot, and an air ball, and then a hammer.
That's a frustration foul. Hostetler misses the layup. We see so many players do it. Paul Foreman on the men's side just does that from time to time. You have that open look, you miss it, and out of frustration, you step right back in and pick up a silly foul. That's actually 5 fouls. It's going to be a 2-shot foul, too, so that's a terrible foul that you don't even get a chance to go back and defend. You give up 2 freebies.
And you're going to put Brickner to the line. Kelsey on the year. Looking at her numbers, pretty solid at 78%.
Such a silly rule that we shoot 2 shots after 5. I can't believe that you don't have no pressure free throw here. You just get 2 free ones.
Yeah, I just think it's the worst rule that we've seen instituted in basketball in my lifetime.
And I don't mind if they're going to shoot after 5 every quarter, but make it a 1-and-1 for goodness sakes at some point. You know, don't just automatically go to 2 because it takes so much strategy out of late game.
Well, you know, the people in the American League and the National League and Major League Baseball, let's talk about the same thing with the designated hitter rule. Brickner's free throw high off the iron, and she couldn't get the shooter's roll. So she was 1 of 2 for Brickner. 3:46 to go in the third. The Maple Leafs trying to make a late charge. Here's a 3-point shot from the deep right corner.
Wow.
Good by Rauch. 44-39. Leafs within 5 here. Just moments ago, they were ahead by 12. The Pilots were a 12-point leader.
They're 4 of 4 from 3-point range this quarter.
Here's ball to Elsasser on the left elbow. She's asking for help. Bounce pass out of Cam Glenn. Bow into the far corner. 3-point shot. Perfect. And by Kristen Moan. And Moan, who knocks down her 11th of the year. Pilots make him pay for that. And it's now a 47-39 lead. And Eric Gingrich wants to take his first time out here with 3:14 to go in the third. That's a huge basket for Kristen Moan.
Yeah, Kristen Moan now shooting 50% from 3-point range on the season. She only has 11 of them, but she likes that shot over there in the corner and knocks it down with confidence.
Coming into the ball game after the next after this timeout will be Taylor Roasa, Berkeley High School product from Oak Park, Michigan, a 5'7" freshman. We're playing in her 25th ball game of the year after we come out of the break. Our coverage today being presented in part by our friends at the Gates Automotive Group. Gates Chevrolet, Toyota, 1,000 used. Selection, price, trust. It must be true. Gates in Michiana for nearly 100 years. On the 4 for Bethel at the 3:14 mark, Glenn, Irwin, Elsasser, Moan, and Brickner, respectively.
And I like the fact you see Elsasser coaching up the freshman Brickner, talking to her coming all the way out of the timeout about different looks. Brickner very receptive to the advice from the veteran.
And to inbound will be Goshen College's Carly O'Neill. And she'll walk it up. Into the deep left corner now. Archibek comes out to the top now. Here to Roasa. Now inside to the high post. Now here to Hostetler. Back out here O'Neill on the dribble drive. O'Neill drives, shoots, scores. And once again, the Pilots give up the baseline drive because no one wanted to take the contact inside.
Caitlin picks up her second foul.
47-41 ball game. 2:55 to go in the third.
So Goshen's knocked down 4 long three-pointers. This will be their second three-point play opportunity. Missed the free throw on the first one, connected on this one. So 5 three-point possessions, making this a 5-point game with 2:53 to play here in the third.
On to the hands of Glenn here at the top of the ring now. They change the defense again. Going to the right side now here to Irwin. Irwin waits for a cutter, goes inside to Elsasser. Caitlin turns, shoots, miss. Glenn the rebound and the follow, and she scores.
And on that possession, they went Roasa face guarding Kelsey Brickner. And so playing a little box and one.
49-42 as Cam scores with 2:39 to go in the quarter.
Cam Glenn now with 9 points to go along with 6 rebounds.
69% free throw shooter for the Huron High School product. She averages 3.5 assists per game, 2 steals, and she converts the old-fashioned three-point play. And it's a 50-42 ball game. 2:36 to go. Here's O'Neill with a drive from the left side. She scores, and she's going to try to pick up the and one. 50-44. They've gone from nobody could hit a basket to save their life to it was nothing but turnstile full of turnovers.
Yeah, and that time Moen just got beat off the dribbles. O'Neill went hard to the basket. O'Neill with 12 points down the evening.
Free throw missed, and here come the Lady Pilots. And right now here to the top now here is Caitlin Elsasser. Bounce pass to the right elbow to Cam Glenn. Cam drives down the right side of the lane. She was hammered. Nice drop. You know they can't contain her off the dribble.
No.
And when you can create your own shot, Coach, like she can, that's just a huge advantage for you.
We just talked about Paul. Goshen was 29% from the floor in the first half. They're 8 of 12 this half. Knocked down all 4 of their three-pointers, and then they've just beaten the Pilots to the basket on the other 4.
Cam Glenn eyes, flies, converts the first free toss, making it a 51-44 ball game.
Pilots now 9 of 11 from the free throw line. How about this for some rebounding numbers? Elsasser, Glenn, Bruce, all with 6 rebounds. Brickner with 5. So balanced team effort hitting the boards tonight.
Cam steps to the line. She eyes, flies, and converts the second. 52-44, Lady Pilots. 2:15 to go. As Mariah Rowe will try to bring it up. She just double dribbled. And over to Lipinski over the timeline. Now Lipinski drives, lowers her shoulder shot, no good. Rebound. Ball goes off of who?
We have foul on Elsasser. It's going to be a 2-shot foul. We're hustling after the rebound there, so Roasa will be going to the line.
Boy, Caitlin Elsasser is just coaching them up inside, isn't she?
She is, being a true leader out there, working hard.
And a timeout, Goshen College. 2 minutes to go in the third stanza. Leafs will take a timeout to discuss pleasantries and then some. And we'll take a timeout as well. 52-44, Lady Pilots, 2 minutes to go in the third. We'll be back with more of College Buckets. Don't forget, men's game coming your way after this one here in the second half of the Twin Bill. More things happening here from Mike Lightfoot Court.
Nothing but top-selling models at Gates of Granger, Michiana's newest, hottest pre-owned sales lot. If you can't tell the difference, why pay the difference? Only you and I know it's used, and I won't tell.
Gates knows. Now you know.
After the 30-second timeout, teams will hit the floor. It'll be Irwin along with Glenn, Moritas, Elsasser, and Brickner. And
it's the second time this has happened, Paul. Earlier, Lipinski checked in, and they asked who she was going in for, and she said, honestly, I don't know. This time, Murph came over to check in, went back to the bench to find out who she was checking in for, then came back over here and said she's going in for the shooter.
Free throw, one in bonus.
No, there's no one in bonus.
My apologies.
No one in bonus in women's basketball. Oh,
that's
no.
right.
Oh, that's
Don't
not
get me
allowed.
started.
Yeah. Yep.
So Taylor Rawasa, as soon as it was out of my mouth, I realized, what the heck did I just say?
But the players play, and that's posed a problem because
everybody was ready to play on the play.
And on and one opportunities, we've seen it at Holy Cross. We saw it here at Bethel, or over at IUSB, where everybody stood around on an and one opportunity because they're just so used to it being 2 shots every time somebody goes to the foul line.
Second free throw is good, so one of the 2 are in the books. 52-45.
And remember how that foul happened. Loose ball rolling out of bounds. Elsasser dives for it and rolls up on her leg, which it was a foul, but that's where if it's a 1-and-1 because you're not attacking the basket, you're simply being rewarded.
So Brickner has to wait.
Yeah, because she got subbed in for after the first shot, so she can't sub back in until some time comes off the clock.
There you go. Good call. With the ball now over here, Michelle Moritas looking at the trap. Bounce pass to Cam Glenn on the right wing. Back to Michelle. Thinks about it. Dribbling here to the near side. Jump pass now here to Irwin. She nearly let her hung out to dry there. Inside to Elsasser. Caitlin looking. Back out here to the right wing to Cam Glenn. Cam with a jab step. Pull up 14-footer. In and out, no good. Rebound. Ripped out of there by Kira Murph. And then here's
Moritas takes it away from Murph. She said, I'll take that from you.
And here's Cam Glenn out here on the perimeter now. Now Moritas stops, looks for help. Comes around one, goes now to deep right corner to Irwin. Just 3, nothing but the bottom of the net. 55-45. Jessica Irwin with the 3 ball.
And Moritas will not get anything in the box score for that one, but that was all created by her hustle. Going in there and taking that away, giving her team an extra possession.
With the ball over here in the hands of Archibek now. Gives it over here to the right side now to Rauk. I'm screened out of the way. Here's now to Rowe. Rowe with the drive and the score. 55-47. 48 seconds to go.
Yeah, Rauk was fortunate she didn't get an offensive foul. She just ran Moritas over on that.
Here's Taya Bruce with a jump pass inside now here to the corner. Back to Irwin. 3 off it's an air ball, but here's Taya Bruce hustling after it. And then now here's Moritas.
Again, Moritas getting scrappy.
She is around every loose ball there is, isn't she? You know, give Chris Hess a year to work with her in her shooting, and I think we're going to see some good things from Michelle Moritas. She's got a
extended horn again here. There we go. Oh my, we got to quit hitting the buzzer for a sub. Just wave our hands over here. Get a little air horn.
With the basketball, Mariah Rowe. One-on-one against Cam Glenn, coming over the timeline now into the forecourt here at the top. Back over here to the right side. Moreau gives up the dribble. Finally hands it off now here to Rauk. Rauk with the drive and the score. 55-49. Sometimes the Lady Pilots' defense leaves a lot to be desired.
Because Glenn 8 row up and forced her into a bad position, and then her teammates didn't help her out.
Moritas on the dribble drive. Pull up 19-footer, banks it up and in as the horn sounds. And the Lady Pilots will go to the fourth quarter with a 57-49 lead as Michelle Moritas hits an off-balance 20-footer for 2. We'll be back with more right after this. 57-49 Lady Pilots on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
When your child's in the hospital, the last thing you want to do is to leave their bedside.
If we had to leave the hospital at any time, it would have drove us nuts.
The family room was definitely a blessing for us. We needed to be close to our daughter, and it gave us exactly what we needed at that time.
Make a difference in the life of a family when they need it most. Give to the Ronald McDonald House at Memorial Children's Hospital in South Bend. Donate to our new house at loveshinethrough.org.
Centeer Bank is Indiana's largest private family-owned bank. Since 1895, the Schrag family has built a legacy of success through business and by servicing the communities of northern and central Indiana. Centier's not-for-sale promise pledges to the communities we serve that we will continue to preserve independent banking in Indiana for generations to come. Centier Bank is proud to serve the communities of northern and central Indiana. Please visit Centier.com for more information, and don't forget to like us on Facebook, member FDIC.
Paul Condry along with Mark Gardner. Glad you can join us here today as we move to the final 10 minutes of regulation here. The Bethel College Lady Pilots trying to end a 10-game losing streak. Goshen trying to halt an 18-game skid. Let's go to Coach for stats through 3.
Much better now. 18 for 43 for Goshen, 42%. 6 of 14 behind the line, 43%. 7 of 12 from the foul line, 58%. Right, and Pilots are 20 of 43, 47%. 7 of 19 behind the line, 10 of 12 from the foul line. 16 turnovers for Goshen, 14 for the Pilots. Pilots out rebounding the Maple Leafs 28-24.
With the ball at the top now, it's Hostetler. Goes foul line extended left now here to O'Neal. O'Neal asking for some help. Stein's inside trying to clear everybody out. Comes back out here to Rowe looking. Handing it off here, shot clock now and down to 7. Here's a drive by O'Neal. Shot no good. Ball ricochets into the hands of Brickner. Up court quickly to Cam. Cam is going to drive. Cam is going to get fouled with 9:27 to go here in regulation. Cam Glenn to the line to shoot 2.
And Cam is 3 of 3 from the foul line. We had a little toddler there, Paul, that came alongside you, just started making her way out to the court. Luckily, the action stayed away from her, and Dad was able to come down and corral her and take her out the other way. But looked like it reminded me a little Madison, just kind of wandering around doing her own thing.
Cam Glenn missed the first free throw. Taya Bruce is going to check back into the game now. For whom? For Michelle Moritas.
Great job by Bruce and Irwin. They had 2 fouls in the first half, and they've played the entire third quarter. Didn't pick up that 3rd foul.
One more for Cam. The right-hander scores the 1 of 2, making it 58-49 for Cam.
Got a chance there to see Stephanie Miller talking with their assistants, and we talk about just the importance of having people that you trust next to you there helping you along the way.
Ball here in the hands of O'Neal, driving, shooting from the right block, and scoring. The Pilots have given up that layup. You figured they would take a drive, put somebody over there to stop that dribble drive.
Now, the defense for the Pilots has not been very good here in the second half. There's Irwin getting banged.
Here is Brickner with a drive. Shot from the right side, score it. 60-51. Brickner once again continues to steal the show here. She's got 19, 8:49 to go in the ballgame.
Yeah, Brickner 19, Glenn 13, and Irwin 12 tonight.
Out here to the top now. On point, right side now is O'Neal. Back into the corner now to Rowe. Mariah looking for some help. Comes back out to Stein at the top with 6. Stein swings it to the far side. Long 3 on the way. Ricochets out of bounds, and it'll angle over towards one of those drums over there. And substitution checking back into the ballgame will be Danae Lipinski. Exiting stage right, Hostetler. And now to walk it up will be Cam Glenn. Goes right side now to Brickner. Kelsey on the jab step, drives, shovels it into the corner to Taya Bruce. Now the cutter, Irwin down the right side of the lane, and she was hammered by Lipinski.
It's going to be foul number 4 there, and just not recognizing the cutter, getting beat to the spot, and then reaching in.
And Stein slammed the ball down to the floor. The official says you do that again, and you're out of here.
Officials don't like being shown up by players.
And he's talking to her right now as she's standing there on the line. Irwin will go to the line again for one more. It's a 61-51 BC lead. I know you like to see Irwin get
Yeah, I
touches.
want her to get high volume shots. She's
Yep.
4 of 7 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the foul line. So
She's got to stay out of foul trouble, though, as
right.
you alluded
Yep.
to.
Yep. But she's
her own worst enemy in the game.
She can shoot the free throw well. She can handle the ball well, but she shoots a good percentage. I just don't think she gets enough volume of shots off. And
well, you said the same thing about Ryan Lutz. Ryan Lutz,
oh, yeah.
Here's a drive inside by Lipinski. Turnaround shot inside, no good, and a foul call on Caitlin Alsasser, bodying Lipinski up.
They're going to get Taya Bruce with the reach in,
okay.
which is good for the Pilots because it would have been Caitlin's fourth. Instead, it's Taya's third. But, yeah, we talked about Ryan Lutz not getting a high volume of shots. Only 2 of 2 the last home game, but then he went out and got a lot of shots off on Saturday and had a nice scoring game. He has to be aggressive.
Lipinski is able to twinkle the twine with 7:54 to go, making it 62-52 Bethel. Bethel took the lead at 12-10 and has not relinquished the lead. Second free throw was good.
Yeah, Goshen dug themselves in a big hole with 11 first-quarter turnovers, and they've been trying to come back ever since then.
El Sasser back to Taya Bruce. Taya, triple bucket. 65-53. 7:39 to go.
Cam Glenn almost stole the inbounds pass, tipped it out of bounds. Pilots now with 8 3-pointers on the evening.
Here's the ball moving from left to right now. Carly O'Neill into the forecourt here at the top now. Drives down the right side of the lane, and Rebecca Schemmerhorner got her hands caught in the cookie jar.
Slide your feet one more step. Don't reach in.
Well, that would, once again, this is a group that doesn't like physical contact. It doesn't appear to be.
I'm not sure.
Outside of Caitlin Elsasser.
I'm not sure they've drawn a charge this year. It would be interesting to go back and look and see. And we see a lot
Taya
more
Bruce has.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, the bruise, the human bruise, right? Yeah, we see a lot more of that in men's basketball, though. Those guys step in, and they don't mind getting run over, and they like to flop and even try and draw some cheap ones. But in women, a little bit more finesse, and they more reaching in and letting them score the layup than sliding over and taking one.
Cam Glenn's checking out. Michelle Moritas is coming back in the ballgame. It's interesting that you talked about that. When I was down in Florida at Donnie Smith's wedding, I had a chance to visit with one of my team captains from one of my teams from the early 80s, and he still fondly remembers the take the charge drill that Paul Condrey. It was his first experience of doing that.
Yeah, and many of our female listeners are probably saying, well, of course women don't take as many charges as men because they're smarter and they know better than to stand there and get run over intentionally. So I get it.
Here is Taya Bruce. Bounce pass here to Caitlin Elsasser. Ball reversal back here to Brickner. Brickner on the drive, shovels it to Kate. Kate with a right-handed shot, no good. Rebound ripped out of there by Sydney Stein.
Good defense by Murph, not picking up the foul there and altering that shot.
There's a pass inside now to Murph. Murph's with the drive, the shot, no good. Rebound, and the ball deflected off of Kate's as
Stein threw it off Elsasser's face and ran over the cameraman all in one play. Took somebody out on both sides, one on the court and one off the court.
Well, I've been in that position.
He took a charge, see?
Yeah.
He was there.
I've been in the position where I got run over, both on college football game and also at some other games as well as a photographer back in the day. Here is Elsasser, left wing. She's asking for some help, throws it backdoor to Taya Bruce, and she scores the left-handed layup. 67-54, 6:38 to go.
Great job of quarterbacking by Caitlin. Good cut by Taya, and the bounce pass was outstanding for the finish.
Ball on the far side wing now. Backing in. Kick back over here now. Murph to the top. Arm check, no good. Ball ricochets and a whistle inside on
Taya Bruce picking up her fourth.
And that will be a common foul. And that'll be Goshen basketball to inbound to the right of the lane from our vantage point.
Thankfully, the official saw the sub before Jim Rome had to hit the horn, so we didn't have the 30-second delay on the extended horn we experienced tonight.
There's a pass out here high now to
travel.
And a traveling call again on Kiera Murph. You can see her confidence is really shaken.
Yeah, she's got 5 turnovers tonight, and she's just frustrated. Yet, stat line, she's got 8 rebounds, only 4 points. That first game she had, I think we said like 14 and 12. I think we in that first matchup between these two.
Here's Moritas, goes in the deep left corner. Back to Elsasser, skip pass. Kate throws it away, bad pass. Here come the Leafs. Archibek over the timeline now, goes here to the right side now to Rauk. Rauk looking, Comes back out here to Rowe. Rowe is inside now to Hosteller. Shot scores over El Sasser. 67-56. The Leafs close the gap here at the 5:48 mark.
It's a nice post move there by Hosteller. I like her at the top of this 1-3-1. She's got those long arms.
El Sasser jump pass in the corner to Taya. Taya looks, launches the triple hard off the iron. Rebound, Stein. Up court quickly now. Here's Archibek. Archibek pass inside here. Rose shot no good, an air ball, and then there's Hostetler to pick up the trash and lay it up and in. 67-58. 2 unanswered field goals by the Leafs. They've closed the gap.
Stein with 12 points and 9 rebounds now this evening. I'm sorry,
Bruce
10
at the free throw line now to Moritas. Moritas into the corner to Irwin. Irwin fakes inside to El Sasser. Back to Irwin, back to Moritas. Now here to Moan. Moan, triple way off the mark. And it goes off a pair of Leafs out of bounds with 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
And Coach Miller's pulling her hair out here. And that happens. You got the rebound comes off and you have 2 players there and they fight over it and it goes out of bounds. Good hustle, just unfortunate.
Moan will inbound the ball. You were shaking your head as soon as the ball went on her release point. You didn't like that shot.
No, and Kristen's a much better shooter when she's uncontested, and the defender had a hand up, so I didn't like that shot choice, and I didn't like the way it looked off her hands.
And Cam Glenn with an air ball on the inbounds pass from 3.
Yeah, the Pilots are up 9, and now suddenly they're settling for threes. Bruce, your last 3 shots have been 3-point attempts there. Bruce, Moan, and Glenn, and that's not
how you got the lead.
No, they've shot the 3 ball better tonight than usual, but you certainly don't want to rely on that to try and seal the deal here.
Mariah Moreau goes to the far wing now to Carly O'Neill. Back out to top high now to Hostetler. Now here to Stein on the right wing. Back out to the top to O'Neill. O'Neill goes up high. Hostetler. Here's Moan with a tie-up. Nice job by Moan.
It's going to be Bethel ball.
Kristen Moan with the 50-50 steal on Hostetler.
Turnover number 19 for the Maple Leafs.
And now it'll be Bethel ball to move from right to left now at the 4.5-minute mark. Michelle Moritas staring the hole, splits that defense, lost the handle on it, and the ball is ricocheted out of bounds. It'll be BC basketball. Far right-hand corner. Moan to trigger the inbounds. And waiting for some help. Looking out here on the perimeter now, Cam Glenn. Cam looking for help. Still on the dribble, goes now here to Moritas. Moritas waiting for a cutter. Pilots interchange out here to Brickner. Now to Cam Glenn in the corner. Back out here to Irwin. She travels. No. Back out here. Shot clock winding down. Moan. Triple on the way. Off the rim. No good. Brickner tips it around. But Hostetler tracks it down for Goshen. Another questionable. Here is Stein with the basketball. Driving, shooting, scoring. Eric Gingrich needs a timeout. 67-60. 3:49 to go.
That's a tough catch and a tougher finish as she got hit, and there was no call, but she was able to finish down there among traffic.
Irwin fakes the pass, comes out high, now to Moritas. Moritas on the drive, kick back to Brickner. Kelsey 3, no good. Rebound. In the hands of Lipinski.
Yeah, 6 straight 3-point attempts for the Lady Pilots.
And here's a drive by Rowe, shot no good. Once again, they gave up the open shot. Here is a whistle. And a timeout of Bethel at the 3:24 mark. 7-point Pilot lead. We'll be back with more right after this with 3:24 to go in regulation on the Regional Radio Sports Network.
This is boot camp. This is the real thing now. You've never done anything so hard in your life. You don't understand how you can finish. It takes inner strength and desire to become a Marine. When I finished, I was like, I did it. The moment I will never forget is when this drill instructor that I admire so much comes up to me and said, "Good morning, Marine."
PFC Summer Volkman became a Marine. Can you? Visit Marines.com or call 1-800-MARINES.
Welcome back here on Regional Radio Sports. Paul County along with Coach Mark Gardner. 3:24 to go. Let's give you a game reset. 2 fouls have been whistled on the guests from Goshen College. 3 fouls have been whistled on the team here from Mishawaka. 3 timeouts for Eric Gingrich, 2 for Stephanie Miller. And You don't like this going on out here, Coach, do you?
No, Goshen assistant coach is out there questioning some stuff, which
Vinny Granato.
You know, and I love his passion, but you know, the official let him stand out there at the block, you know, underneath the basket and talk and question some stuff about. I think he was talking about Murph's post moves and Stein getting hit on the basket, which that's fine, but there's a time and place to have those discussions. It's not in the middle of the game. It's surprised that they allow that, because usually they'll walk the coach over to the huddle and talk to him.
Here's the ball into the deep left corner now. Irwin on the dribble. Comes out here near wing. Looks for the crossover. Comes back out to Taya Bruce on the right wing. Now to Brickner in the corner. And Brickner throws it away. Here's Lipinski on the drive. Shot.
Been an and one there, yeah.
Here's Moritas up court quickly now to Cam Glenn. Cam to the goal. Score it. 69-60. It's a huge basket. Bethel had not scored since the 6:38 mark. Now it's a 2:51.
Yeah, they were settling for three-pointers, so you were forced to go to the basket on that one with a breakaway. But they got a break because Lipinski got fouled on that breakaway, I thought.
Lipinski on the left elbow turns and muscles in towards Brickner and scores. 69-62, 2:35 to go.
6 points now for Lipinski. Remember, she's playing with 4 fouls, so just be careful lowering her shoulder there.
Brickner deep right corner now. Back out to Moritas. Skip pass out here to the top to Cam Glenn. Down in the deep left corner. It's Irwin now to Taya Bruce. Back to Irwin on the left wing. Skips it over to the far corner now to Cam Glenn. Cam drives. Ball reversal here to Moritas. Now into the corner to Brickner for 3. Off the rim. Moritas grabs the rebound. And the Pilots have a fresh clock.
Yeah, if they're going to let you run 30 seconds, just hold it. They actually got a good shot after running the clock, but Michelle Moritas with another big rebound.
Moritas skip pass over here to Glenn on the left wing. Now back to Michelle at the top. Michelle on the dribble, comes back out to Irwin, and now to Bruce in the deep left corner. Back out to left wing. Now to the Moritas, and they're going to say Michelle traveled with 6 seconds on the clock, but the key thing there, Coach, that took almost
54 seconds,
54
right?
seconds off the clock.
Yeah, you'll take that when it's a 3-possession game if they're going to let you run that much off. But Moritas with the
Haley Archibek will walk it up over the timeline now. Goes down to the high post now to Lipinski. Lipinski waiting for, and here's a steal by Cam Glenn. Cam going to try to take the coast to coast for the deuce. 71-62. It's a heads up by the junior from Ann Arbor.
What a great play there, as Lipinski was waiting to fake the handoff and turn an attack, and Cam said, I'll take that and go the other way for 2.
Cam with back-to-back layups have catapulted her club to a 71-62 lead with 1:21 to go in regulation. When everybody has their hand out for your sweet refund check, Gates Chevy World says we don't need your stinking refund check. $5 measly gets you a Chevy Cruze for just $189 a month. Just a $5 makes you a driver at Gates Chevy World. Also, our coverage of basketball today presented in part by our friends at Teachers Credit Union. You can check up there on the TCU scoreboard right now. The TCU 3.99% intro rate. The TCU Visa Platinum credit card. Available online at www.tcunet.com/apply. Paul Condry, yours truly, along with Mark Gardner here today, as Goshen is going to be down to 1 timeout after this stoppage to play for longtime coach Stephanie Miller. Stephanie has, of course, been there for 7 years now. The Maple Leafs and the Pilots here today. Maple Leafs, next time out, they're going to be home against the University of St. Francis at the Gundon Gymnasium. And it'll be Mariah Rowe to to inbound the ball right in front of our vantage point. Comes out to the top now to Rauk. One-on-one against Moritas, gives back to Rowe. 1:15 to go. Right elbow now. Hostetler looking for help, gives up the dribble. Now back to Rowe. Rowe steps back out, pass inside to the low post, and a whistle on the floor.
It's a good foul.
It was Hostetler on the year.
Well, it's not going to be a shooting foul.
Not a shooting foul either, yeah.
Moritas was buried deep.
Even if it was, Coach, my point was going to be Hostetler's only a 43% free throw shooter.
And Goshen they're down by 9. They took way too long to get a shot off on that possession there.
And
bad handoff. Official handed it to O'Neal, and she dropped it, so they were going to reset that.
You got a better angle than I do. With Stephanie's getting the screen inside, and there's a traveling call on the Leafs. It's a double screen, Coach, so help me out.
Stephanie's now taking it out on the official. She's frustrated, saying because the official dropped the ball, Bethel had an advantage, knew what they were going to run. But the fact of the matter is, no, her player traveled.
Brickner is fouled from behind.
And now they've got a couple fouls to give before the Pilots get to that 2-shot foul. So, yeah, in that case, I think Stephanie's just looking for somebody to take her frustration out on that poor official.
Well, he's been taking it out a lot on Vinny Granato over here. And Kelsey Fraley, assistant coaches over here. Bethel will, Michelle Moritas will inbound the ball right in front of yours truly. And number 22 goes in the backcourt to the talented Cam Glenn. Cam with a drive, kick out into the corner. 3-point shot, no good by Brickner.
Why are you shooting that when you're up by 9 with a minute to go?
With the ball over here now into the hands of O'Neal. Far side now, Rowe. Rowe will drive. She traveled. And nice job by Moritas. And our official did our famous juggling call here.
You go timeout Goshen. But if you're Bethel, Goshen didn't foul, so they were going to let you dribble 30 seconds off the clock. And with a minute to go, there is no point in shooting that.
All right, we'll set it up. Coming out of this, we're going to keep it right here. This is going to be a 30-second timeout here. Our coverage today being presented in part by Centier Bank. Thank them for their financial support of our broadcast here today, owned by the Schrag family since 1895. Centier Bank provides a full line of banking options, including mobile apps. They have over 40 locations in Lake Porter, LaPorte, Marshall, Elkhart, and St. Joseph counties. And they're on the web at www.centierbank.com. Quick reminder, we have high school basketball tomorrow on 91.1 FM The Globe. You can join yours truly along with Matt Copsey and Mark Johnson. We'll have a chance to see the #1 team in all the land. The South Bend Riley Wildcats will be on the road to take on the Penn Kingsmen.
Coached by former pilot Eric Brand.
Yep, and prior to that, we'll have the Coach's Box live from Beef Over Eddie's from 6 to 9 p.m. That was Goshen's last time out. And here's the Maple Leafs on the inbounds pass and stolen. Irwin was hammered on the far side, and Stein just rolls over on top of her.
Why do I think that Stephanie did not call that timeout to tell her team to throw the ball away? Let's see what we have here from the officials. Stein went to the foul line. Stein fouled Irwin, didn't she? Well, that's a foul on Black. Irwin had the steal, and Stein ran her over. Apparently not.
They're going to call it on. They're going to call on Jessica Irwin. Springfield, Ohio product. Not happy with the call, and with 39.6 seconds to go, it'll send Stein to the line where she converts. Sydney on the year, a 67% free throw shooter. One more opportunity forthcoming.
Our good friend Brian Miller to my left.
Second free throw, no good. Moritas the rebound.
Yeah. Brian said that I was correct in the way that I saw the previous one, too, that he thought Irwin had the ball and got tackled and called for the foul.
Yeah. And it'll be a timeout.
Well, Moritas has had a tough night tonight. She took a pass in the face, got called for a travel. She got hammered there, but Eric called a timeout before the foul was called, so she can't catch a break tonight. And you know what? She'll keep on playing. She's okay with that.
All right, let's get everybody up to date on some college scores if you've got any of them over there, Coach. I know that you've got them put together, but keep in mind we've got men's game coming your way immediately after this one.
Yeah, first half scores right now, Grace leading Huntington 37-23. Grace is sitting at 6-6, Huntington at 8-4 receiving votes. We've got Taylor, 29-24 lead over St. Francis. Jody sitting at 9-3 there at Taylor. St. Francis is 7-5. And Spring Arbor, who's at 2-10, is leading Mount Vernon 32-29. Mount Vernon at 6-6. So the Pilots very interested in that Spring Arbor game because that's who they're chasing.
And the Pilots have Spring Arbor coming up a week from yesterday. Michelle Moritas will inbound the ball. And there is your 5-second count.
Yeah. So that's where you call a timeout as a coach when the other team's going to foul you, and it costs you a turnover.
He looked right Jessica Irwin right in the eye and says, "What are you doing? That's your responsibility."
Well, the Pilots do a bad job of screening on inbounds plays underneath their own basket, sideline out of bounds, and that caught him right there. You've got to get a body on somebody and screen.
With the ball now here, Carly O'Neal, and got it knocked away. Jump ball situation, alternating possession arrow favors the guest. And it will be with 30.5 seconds to go. Maple Leaf basketball underneath their own basket. It'll be to the right of the lane from our viewpoint, to the left of the lane from Carly O'Neal's trigger point. Goes inside here to host out her shot. It's a brick, and the ball ricochets to the far side, and another whistle. Coach, I was screened out of the way by the official and by Stephanie.
Stein grabbed the offensive rebound, so she's now got a double-double. She's going to head to the line. Well, remember about 10 minutes ago when Brickner shot a three-pointer from the corner when Goshen was going to let the Pilots dribble out the clock? And here we are. There's been about 8 possessions since then.
Yeah. Free throw good for Stein. Sydney with one more opportunity. She closes the gap here to 71 to 64. And I tell you what, if this one comes back to haunt the Lady Pilots.
Oh, yeah. And so,
Eric Gingrich is.
Yeah, we've had 3 timeouts, about 4 fouls, a jump ball. And they were willing to let the Pilots dribble out. You know, there was a minute 1 to go, and they weren't fouling. They were letting the Pilots dribble out the clock. They still have a foul to give. So it just that one shot changes everything heading down the stretch. When you're 1-11 in the conference, 6-18 overall, and you haven't won in the calendar year, you got to be smarter than that.
With Chris Hess on the bench, they're just 27.5 seconds away from him leading the Pilots to a victory here.
Yeah, this is it's a teachable moment. And I know Kelsey's a freshman, but let's be honest, by this point in the year, you're no longer a freshman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you've played as much as she has. And so, but certainly a teachable moment for everybody on that bench. You know, you need wins, and you need to be smart with the ball, make the other team come foul you. Don't shoot a three-pointer when you're up 9 with a minute to go.
And to the charity stripe, Sydney Stein. Stein, a 67% free throw shooter, averages 8 points, 6 rebounds. Free throw, no good. Rebound, all's on the floor, and ricochets into the hands of Irwin. And then there's a foul immediately on the play, and that's a good job by the Maple Leafs to create the foul. That's a common foul, and once again, no shooting. Now from here on in, it's adventurous.
Yep, 2-shot fouls from this point forward.
As with 22.5 seconds to go, it'll be Cam Glenn to trigger the inbound.
And she cannot run the baseline now. Now Brickner's available deep if Cam wants to throw it over everybody's head.
Everybody's coming to the ball this time. Here's Irwin, immediately fouled by Stein. And now some offense for defensive substitutions for Stephanie Miller. And that will send Jessica Irwin to the line. You know, when you think about it, the freshman, probably 18, maybe 19 at most, trying to adjust to college life, and certainly different coaching style, different coaching dynamics, and sometimes I'm amazed at how well they adjust. Here is Irwin's free throw on the way, picture perfect, 72 to 64.
You and I haven't done women's high school basketball together in a while, but I know when I talked to Kelsey Brickner's dad a couple games ago, he said it's just been such a difference for her dealing with losing. You know, it just, you know, a lot of these girls come from winning programs in high school, and they're just used to winning most nights out, and so there's a mindset change there of how having to work through losses.
Here's O'Neal over the timeline now. The Olay defense by the Pilots. You would have thought that he would have stopped the ball. Here's the three-point shot in the far corner by Rowe. Good. 72-67. Irwin with the basketball, and she is fouled with 8.9 seconds.
Remember,
one timeout remaining for Coach Gingrich. No timeouts for Stephanie Miller.
Remember, Irwin just hit 1 of 2.
And she'll have a pair here with 8.9. By the way, the alternating possession arrow favors Bethel here, with both teams shooting 2 free throws every time down. And here's a free throw by the young lady we just mentioned, Jess Irwin, making it now a 73-67 ball game. And this is the most important one. This makes it a 3-possession game. Shot no good, a rebound, deflected into the hands of Stein. Now here to Rowe. Rowe quickly over the timeline now. Shot on the way, it'll count if it goes. And it does. But it's a day late and a dollar short. 73-70. The Bethel College Lady Pilots end their 9-game losing streak. They improved to 7-18 overall and 2-11 in Crossroads League play. The Maple Leafs dropped their 19th straight. They are now 1-24, and they are 0 for 13 in Crossroads League play. We'll try to get some thoughts here from Coach Gingrich. But Coach, your thoughts on today's first game?
ugly, you'll take the win. There were certainly some good things that took place. There was a lot of good to take from this, but at the same time, you had a chance to just ice this thing away with a minute to go, and now you pull off a 3-point win. You know, so certainly some stuff to grow from, but you look at the numbers there. Brickner 19, Glenn 17, 16 for Irwin, 9 for Bruce. So some balanced scoring. 4 girls with 6+ rebounds. You know, you got to win, but defense has to be better. And, you know, they still have a tough road ahead of them.
Well, I thought that every time that Goshen made a run, the Pilots were able to answer.
Yeah,
I think that's
you got that one stretch, though, where they took 6 3-pointers in a row, I think. They didn't need that. And then, like I said, that shot with a minute to go. Those are things you've got to clean up as you continue to work.
And we'll try to get some thoughts here from Eric Gingrich. And certainly it'll be nice to see this guy with a smile on his face for a change. All right, let's get some thoughts here from Coach Eric Gingrich. Tell you what, it's good to see you smile, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, we got work to do. We just gave up 40-some points in the second half. That's not, I mean, we struggled defensively a lot. Had a great, I thought we played pretty good defensively in the first, but man, we have got to figure that out. We started getting deep in our gaps, and they just took the ball straight to the rim. It was hard to guard in the second half.
Coach, I think you guys had a stretch there in the second half where you settled for 6 3-pointers in a row, I think, and they climbed back. But the one that's jumping out to me was a minute to go. Goshen was going to let you guys dribble out the clock, it seemed, and Kelsey shoots a 3-pointer and gave us about 15 minutes of extra basketball between all the timeouts, jump ball, you know, and ended up being a 3-point game. So teachable moments.
Yeah, I mean, we talked, there's a couple, you know, Michelle gets deep on the block with 30 seconds to go, whatever, and gives up a corner 3 that, you know, just little, there's situational things we're going to have to talk through. But as a young team, we haven't been in the situation a lot. So this is actually, even though they're not really freshmen now in a lot of ways, they're freshmen at end-of-game situations. And so we've got some things to talk over, but I'm proud of them. I mean, they fought, and we moved the ball really well offensively most of the day. So that's improving, and I'm excited about that.
We'd rather have teachable moments and wins than losses, right?
Yeah, it feels a lot better, that's for sure.
Final thought, Chris Hess, you've asked Chris to be a part of the coaching staff. Talk about that.
Well, he's a longtime member of the Lady Pilots. I think ever since Coach Martinez left, he's been praying a lot about it, and he's got good relationships with our girls. He loves shooting with them. They do that a lot, and so I think he just brought some freshness that we needed, some newfound energy, and so it's been a pretty smooth transition, and I don't know what's going to happen after the next 3 weeks, but we'll see where the Lord leads him, and he might be on the staff for the next few years.
All right, Coach, thanks for taking time to stop by.
Okay, thanks.
Once again, Eric Gingrich joining us here today, and congratulations on an important Crossroads League win for him and his basketball team here today as they end their 9-game losing streak here today against Goshen. Coach, you got a final thought before we get to our final numbers? Did he just steal our spot?
He took my stat sheet, but I got Dak's stats up, so we're okay. Goshen finished 25 of 58, 43%. Bethel was 25 of 56, 44%. Goshen 8 of 18 from downtown, 45%. And Dak's stats is reloading on me. Okay, there we go. Pilots were 8 of 27, 30%. Goshen was 12 of 20 from the foul line, 60%, where the Pilots were 15 of 20, 75%. Both teams with 36 rebounds. Goshen with 10 on the offensive end, the Pilots with 8. 18 assists, 19 turnovers for the Pilots, 11 assists, 20 turnovers for Goshen. Individually for Goshen, Haley Archibald had 3 points, 2 rebounds. Mariah Rowe, 8 points, 1 rebound. Carly O'Neill, 15 points, 2 rebounds. Hannah Hostetler, 6 points, 3 rebounds. Taylor Roasa had 1.1 rebound. Claire Rock, 11 points. Kira Murph, 4 points, 8 rebounds. Sydney Stein, 16 points, 12 rebounds. And Danae Lipinski had 6 points and 3 rebounds. For the Pilots, Jessica Irwin, 4 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 4 from three-point range, 6 of 8 from the foul line. She had 16 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Taya Bruce was 3 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 6 from three-point range, 2 of 2 from the foul line, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists for Taya tonight. Cam Glenn was 6 of 16 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point range, 4 of 5 from the line, 17 points, 6 rebounds. Becca Skimmerhorn missed her only shot, but she did grab 3 rebounds. Michelle Marias knocked down her only shot she took at the buzzer at the third. 2 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Katie Morgan did not score. Kelsey Brickner, 7 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 7 from three-point range, 2 of 4 from the line, 19 points, 6 rebounds. And Caitlin Osasser, 3 of 7 from the floor, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. We've got the Ron Paulson Award.
Gage Ott.
Gage Ott, how about that? Well-deserved.
All complete there. We're ready to go.
We're good with the stats, Paul.
All right, that's going to do it for our broadcast here today, and then we're going to move on over to men's basketball. Once again, final score: the Lady Pilots defeat the Maple Leafs 73-70. Goshen falls to 1-24, 0-13 in the league. Bethel improves to 7-18 and 2-11 overall. For our broadcast team here, courtside at Mike Lightfoot Court, we'll talk with you in about 25 minutes. No, actually, in about 5 minutes on the other channel. Thanks for joining us here on Regional Radio Sports. God bless you all. Semper Fidelis. Good night, everyone. I know. Real bad sprained ankle. Ryan told me. I meant to tell you about that.
Go ahead and start it, we're going 30.